Cool. We're live. And I have all my gear. Now let's mess with these settings. Maybe that's better, is it? Maybe that's better. We're starting off with I think my mic is on. Starting off from a slightly different position today. About 15 minutes walk from the org. That building there I want to have a look at later. It's marked for demolition. Don't know what was in there before or what's going in there. Oh, it used to be a betting office. And there's our pub in there as well. Have a look later and see what that's going to be. Hang on, not sure I like that second. Let me mess with these buttons. Hey Catty, how are you? Maybe that's better. I really need to do so. Really need to watch another YouTube tutorial video on what these buttons are. I think that's a bit better. I'm way down like a pack mule, Catty. Look at this. Got my backpack and I've this side bag as well. Hey Jennifer, how are you? It's a lovely day here. It's nice and warm. Little bit of a breeze, which is good. There's no rain scheduled apart from maybe a little bit of light drizzle later. That's Park Carmel. I think that's a GA pitch in there. See, we don't need that close premises. Or is that a school? Might be a school. Or is it just a local park? Closed up anyway. Just mosey on. I think I've about 15 minutes walk to get here. I'm not sure if it's a good idea or not. You know, I'm way down with all my bags. I'm not sure it's a 15-minute walk is a good idea, but sure, we'll do it to once anyway and see. So it might be interesting just to get a little bit of a view of the surrounding area. That's Fairhouse Family Services in there. Respawn, building homes, improving lives. I'm not familiar with them lads. Like you can see, it is largely a residential area. Like we've nothing really but a lot of housing estates here. So it's sort of an unusual location for a cult to be setting up shop. Hey Cricket, how are you? About 15 minutes walk to do to get to the cult. I just thought it'd be good to have a little bit of give you guys a little bit of an overview of the surrounding area. But it's not ideal. I'm way down with, I have my backpack and I have my side pack of all my signs. So I'm not exactly dressed for the walking, but sure. It's a lovely day here. It's nice and warm. A little bit of a breeze, which is nice. I'm already beginning to regret this walk. I don't think I'll be doing this every time, but sure, we'll do it the once anyway. A lot of nice greenery here anyway to be looking at. It seems to be all throughout this area they're doing a lot of road improvements. They're putting down new road surfaces in places. Or there it looks like they're getting a new cycle path and the pavement. Oh my goodness, this side bag is fucking awkward. Let me see if I can get a better bag to be bringing me signs in. This bag I do have was the cheapest I could get. I think I paid €15 for, because I wasn't sure I'd be able to manage to cart out the A1 signs with me between walking and carrying them on the buses. Well, it seems to be manageable when I tilt them on their side. So I'm gonna have a look and see, can I find a better quality bag for 40 or €50 that would be easier to carry. I wouldn't be cutting into my neck as much as what this strap is. But this one will do for now anyway. Oh, that's the national school, isn't there? Oh, so that must be their private grounds down below, where they're playing pitches and whatnot. So we're just a little bit away from where the lovely local park is here, the one with all the fairy trees in it. Yeah. I can't see myself doing this walk every time out here, lads. Be a nice walk if I wasn't way down with my baggage, but sure, we're getting a nice year, but it is nice and green out here. We've a lot of nice greeneries out here this way. It does make it nice. And the lovely cool and breeze. Another housing estate we have in there. Here we have a digger there. Like that for now it's been. Don't know how to hot wire a digger, or if even you can nowadays with all the fancy electronics. So we have another housing estate. Hey Kia, how are you? We're about 10 minutes stroll from the cult of Scientology here in Dublin. I just thought it might be interesting just to have give you guys a little bit of a view of the surrounding area. Like you can see, it is like this is a residential area. We're surrounded by housing estates. It's sort of unusual place to be put in a cult. My screen looks a bit dark. I wonder if that's the setting to have on my iPhone. Because the screen looks darker than it actually is. I think it'll do. Unless that's just my eyesight. Could be my eyesight as well. I don't have my glasses on. I do need to get my eyes properly tested though. Because I think they've changed quite a bit in the last few years. I think maybe I might be needing a proper pair of glasses. Sure, we'll see. Yeah, that's the park just up ahead. That's the car park for the park. That's good. We don't have too far to go. Yeah, it's not ideal. Not ideal in this weather to be humping a backpack and me side pack on me. I'm like a pack mule, lads. And the beautiful houses there. I wonder how much those houses are. Like, it's not a bad area. If you're going to be opening a cult in a residential area, you could do far worse than here, because those houses will be worth for a bit now. It'd easily be $1 million a piece, those houses. They're definitely not recruiting much locals anyway, that's for sure. Seems to be more their target than the foreign immigrants that moved over here, like the Indians. They seem to be aggressively targeting, and the European community, like the Polish lads. We'd have a fair few of them. We'd have Russians and Ukrainians as well. Romanians now will be another. That'll be another. We'd have a fairly hefty supply of them as well. They seem to be the nationalities that the cult are actively targeting, where English isn't their native language. Which is why I've added those languages onto one of my signs. So hopefully that will help warn them. Well, you know yourself, lads, when English isn't your first language, you don't have very good English. It's very hard to get or it's relatively easy for the cult to be calling you. There's a park in there. That's a lovely slide. I have a lovely slide. Look at that for a slide. That's a nice slide. I never did enjoy slides when I was a kid, and I was always terrified of them. Now it did trigger my vertigo, which I never knew as a kid I had. I only found out as an adult I suffered from vertigo, which kind of explains why slides used to terrify me as a kid, even though I did enjoy using them. but they still did terrify me, which I do reckon was triggering the old vertigo. There's that lovely park we went to the last day to see the fairy houses. We can go around this way. All the way zoomed out there. Oh, thank God. There we are. They were at the pub. Let's quickly cross here. That would be a much better idea to duck in there for a pint or two. Forget about going any further, lads, huh? Definitely be much more enjoyable, but sure. So nosy on. We're at 2:30. It is relatively quiet here. It is a bank holiday Monday here, which would be akin to a Sunday, I guess. Hang on, let me turn off this watch. I don't know how, but somehow, whatever way I flick my wrist, I seem to knock on Siri every now and then. That's me watch put to sleep mode. Oh, hey, Cathy is there on another one of our devices. That is all pretty much closed up in there, which makes sense for bank holiday Monday. See the pub open, and almost certainly Super Value. Yeah, Super Value is open. The bookies open. And the book's closed, but I would have expected them to be open on a bank holiday Monday, but maybe not. Are they pigeons? Hey YouTube, the screamer. Yeah, we're here in Dublin, Ireland. Oh wait, bank holiday Monday afternoon where the weather is nice and warm, little bit of a cooling breeze, and we have the cult of Scientology just up ahead of us there. Hey Style, how are you? I just decided today I do a little bit of a walk up from this way. Okay, it wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be, which is good. I'm way down like a packed mule with all my bags, with my backpack and my side bag. But sure, I'm managing well enough, I guess. So there's that. I don't think they have internet enough. That'll be interesting to see, lads. Do they have that horrific green netting stuff up or not? We'll find out. Oh my goodness, seems like a long way. Oh, there we are already. Oh, there's no green netting up. I thought it was further away than it is. No green netting up, that's interesting. No green netting up, and it looks to be empty as well, which is good. I love seeing it empty. It's empty, all right. So we have, what do we have? Oh, there's some new posters up in there. I wonder what's on those posters. They have the door open for the cool air, which is good, but I wonder will she close the door? Perhaps she doesn't, because they could do with the fresh air going in with the door being open. That's 4 cars. A minivan type car, a van. And then in this front one then, we have 3 cars. Hey Hans Christian, how are you? Oh, it is lovely here, so nice. I'd say it's low 20s here. It's about 22, 23 degrees with a lovely cooling breeze. And this is why I love wearing the high vis. See the way I reflected there in the window? There's no way they can't see me looking out in my high vis gear. That's why I like wearing the high vis. So half a dozen cars in back, 3 in front. I don't think there's much point going down to the end. There's not much happening in there. I think I'll set up my signs here. Very quiet and there's not much sign of activity at all. Definitely is some new posters up there in front. I don't know what they have on their glass windows that you can't quite see in, whatever you call that material, which I suppose makes sense. They don't want us to be able to see in too clearly. There's something there on the desk, laid out on the desk. I suppose they're all their brochures and whatnot. But they do have one of their doors open, which is good. They do have one of their doors there open, which is good to let in the fresh air. I can't tell. Is someone at reception or is she ducked down? No sign of life at all in there, which is good. Just got the planches down, lads. I know you guys looking at me. Planches down there. And I very quickly put my signage on display. That is curious now that there is no netting up. Yeah, Roger. Oh, hang on. Oh, this doesn't really matter what you guys can see at the moment. I will put on. I think that's good enough. Use the books. December. Oh, yeah, put some tunes on. Let's put some tunes on. Oh, is it good? Or is it good? Heck, it's warm, alright. It's warm today. There is a bit of a breeze, which is good. Not much of a breeze, so I shouldn't be running after posters. Where's music here? Doo, doo, doo. I swear I get worse at using these devices every week. I'll start off with this tune. Just quickly get me posters out. So that's having a nice cycle for themselves. I guess why not? Well, it's sort of a bit warm for a cycle, but fair play to them. I think if I put them close together, that should provide interior, I think, some sort of windshield. I think. I don't really remember me aerodynamic critics. Not sure we'll see how we get on. I think I might put them all together. See how that ends up. Oops. Oh, sugar. Oops. Just knocked over me gimbal. Bugger. Oh no, why is it going sideways? Oh dear. Oh, thanks very much. Oh Jesus, no, the opposite. I was just some lady across the road give me the thumbs up. She said for a moment there she thought I was in some sort of promotion for the coach. Heck no. Oh no, we're doing the exact opposite. the exact opposite. We don't want the cult to trick any more people from entering. That's for sure. Let's see. Do I want to spread out my signage? Boo, boo, boo. It's already blown them a little bit. I wonder in case of adjusting. Do need to work out some way to weigh them down a little bit. Give them a little bit more stability. We're lucky at the moment the wind is mild, but it's certainly going to get certainly going to have much windier days than this ahead. I'm sure we'll figure it out. There you go, Roger. There's your sign. With a quiet voice and chamber, or it's on ahead. That's the Lewis. The Lewis, I think. Just Roger down a little bit. There we go. Now I think that's better. There we go. Hey, Miriam, how are you? You're here outside the Dublin org at the Culture Scientology. It's a bank holiday Monday here, and it looks like it's very similar to Sunday traffic. They have three cars in the front car park. They have, what did we say, 4 cars in the back, 2 minivans, 3 minivans of different sizes. Oh, is that one more of an estate car? See, that nearest one was more of an estate car than a minivan. So 2 minivans, 3 cars, and 1 estate car. So that's not much. It's only 10 vehicles in total, which is good. I'll check my mic. Hang on, have I muted? Perfect. Oh, you can hear. Oh, it might have been. Could have been the music you couldn't hear when I was setting up my signage. Maybe I might put on the. I put the music on a bit louder, maybe. How about that for the music? Hang on. What volume have I got on my phone? Oh, the volume's up full on my phone, so yeah. Hopefully that's good now, lads. If I tilt to more of an angle is better. Or maybe, oh, hang on. Just bear with me 1 second. I'll check the right. Hang on. There's a where place to. Maybe I need to. Or does it actually be okay there? I think. Maybe I should have on my outside shirt. Just go to adjust the mic position just to see does that make a difference. To be honest, I haven't any clue. Actually, I think maybe I do need it on the outside shirt. That is probably it. That the inside one at times is rubbing against it. Now let me know if that is any better. So I've just put the mic on the outside shirt. I had it on the inside one because I reckoned if I put on the inside one it wouldn't be interfered with the writing. So I do have on this one, I do have stop the abuses. But ideally I probably should have started the writing a little bit further down on the shirt. But I'll know for next time to do a better how to. Oh, hang on, let's put it back on the coat. I'll know next time the next shirt I'm designing. So one lady leaving with a backpack and a bag. Someone else walking in, but he's walking in through the restaurant cafe area. So is she in doing courses or is she staff? She looks like she's on foot anyway, but sure, we'll leave her be, we'll leave her go about her business. There'll be no harassing anybody here. Our purpose here is to spread awareness about the abuses of Scientology, not to be harassing anybody for what their beliefs are. Hey Wildvic, how are you? We're outside the Dublin org of the cult of Scientology. It's a nice warm sunny afternoon here. Little bit of a cool breeze, which is good, because Irish doesn't do too well in the heat. I can't. Oh, there is someone standing at reception anyway. Was he working at reception, or is he talking to reception, or is he making himself just look busy? He definitely looks like he's talking to someone. But I can't see who he's talking to. There are a lot of leaflets and things in front of the desk. So I guess if you are slumped down enough in your chair, oh, hang on, I see the flicker top of her head. So she is slumped down in a seat. And I wonder, is that because I'm here? Probably because I'm here. Like, them Yorkshires on her desk, like they're A4 pieces of paper. Like they wouldn't be high enough to be hiding her from view. So she must be deliberately slumped down a bit. Yeah, well, ideally, I'd love company out here. But what can you do? You make do the best you can, because I definitely think there is value coming out here. If that means I have to come out by myself, then so be it. But I would much prefer to have company. Certainly for after. Geez, I'd love someone to go for a pint and a bite to eat with after I'm done here. That's for sure. But sure, we make do the best we can. This is my first sign we have here, which is Scientology is a dangerous cult. And we have it in Russian, Ukrainian, Polish, Romanian, Chinese, and Hindi. At least I think they're the languages we have. I'll have to double check what these languages are. I did actually, I had lost my binoculars for about 5 years and I found them 2 nights ago, so I could bring my binoculars with me, all right. That might be an idea to see what is it that they have inside there. Now, I could always, in theory, I could wander in through the front doors because I haven't been trespassed. But like we know full well that as soon as I do make any attempts to go in there, there'll be 10 of them asking me to leave. So I kind of, unless I have a very good reason to, I'd prefer not to. It might be something good to keep in my back pocket. That I can, in theory, if I wanted to, I could walk in through those doors. Legally, there's nothing stopping me. I haven't been trespassed by this cult. They've had no reason to trespass me. I am very curious as to what she does have on her laid out on the desk in there. But then, curiosity is a bad thing, though, when it comes to cults. Curiosity, have you accidentally signing a billion-year contract, lads? So that's maybe I'm not curious anymore when you think of it that way. It might come a time, Cathy, when it's worth the risk of getting a formal trespass. But certainly not out of curiosity to see what the leaflets are. It'd be more if I detected that someone was in a bit of bother in there and needed a bit of help, if you know what I mean, or a bit of backup. That'd be another matter. But it'd be certainly be you could go in there the once, knowing full well it'd just be the once only, and then you're going to get yourself trespassed. And even at that, it's not that. Even at that, they can only trespass you if you go in and you refuse to leave. That if they ask you to leave and you do leave, that doesn't qualify as a trespass. It's only if you refuse to leave, or you're being violent, or you're being belligerent, or you're being aggressive. That kind of thing. So you can't just trespass someone for the sake of it. Just going to stand to the side here while a couple walks by. I don't want to be interfering with people just out for a lovely walkabout of this lovely sunny afternoon. And she's standing up at her desk there. They're in the staff uniform, so they're definitely two volunteers, shall we say, as they're working for free. I don't detect any other sign of activity in there. Then the way, whatever that type of glass is, unless they're in the front there, I don't think you will get to see anyone wandering about upstairs or that. That's someone wandering around back of reception area. That's someone in plain clothes or in the normal clothes in Servies. So I wonder, she kind of looks like she's working there though, or is she not sitting down? I'm not sure if she's cleaning or if she's sitting down. Oh, yeah, I definitely need some sort of a solution to stabilise my signs. Need to weigh them down with weights. I'll have to have a look at. I'm kind of thinking something like the fishermen weights that they use, that they have on the fishing rods, to weigh the lines down a bit, because they would have a little bit of weight to them, but they'd be what's the word? They'd be portable that I could easily carry in my backpack. Like if it came to, I could nearly lay them down. I could nearly lay them down flat on the ground because there still is enough room there for people to walk by. But I think they're more visible though when you have them propped against the wall. So I think that is a better way to have them, is propped up. Just need to work out a way of stopping them. Like I did think having them close together will stop the wind from getting at them. But it does seem to be hit and miss how the wind is. But then the ground it is a bit of a slope, the ground is, and it is uneven, which certainly doesn't help to stabilise. Yeah, if I did put little weights in the back of them, that would give them a bit of volume maybe. Or even if I strung them together, maybe that would work. So as you can tell, I have made some new signs So I think it all helps for the people passing by. That will catch the eye, the added visibility there. There's someone out on his break. Is he out on his break? That's someone in a. So is that their uniform down there, but white shirt and a tie? Okay, he's dressed like he'd be working in the restaurant area, maybe. Yeah, he's some sort of a staff member. Pants, shirt, and tie. Would that be a normal staff member? Or could he be Sea Org? Do you think? Or are they dressed differently? Oh, sugar. Yeah, putting them close together doesn't seem to help much. But this is good. This is good research because this gives me good. This tells me I do need to stabilise my science somewhat. Like I could always go back to the A2, but although one of my A2 ones have just fallen over there, so they're no more secure than the A1s. So I think definitely the way to go is to stick with the A1s because they are bigger and they do have to catch the eye that bit more for people passing by. And even if people don't stop to read them, something will catch the eye that will stick with them for them to look into after. Absolutely, they are. Scientology is a brainwashing, abusive cult. Absolutely, they are. Is he sort of the groundsman? Combat trousers and a t-shirt. He sort of looks like he might be in charge of the grounds maintenance the way he's dressed. Chatting away to the receptionist there anyway. There's a lady walking through the back. Handbag. She probably looked like she might be public. Yeah, that person in front there. Yeah, she's cleaning. That's a spray bottle she has. She's cleaning the windows there. Well, it's good to see that there's not much sign of. Yeah, he's mopping the floors. So apart from people working for the cult free for no wages, under the disguise of that they're volunteers, which there are zero laws of protection for people here. If you're a volunteer, you can be wickedly exploited. There's no rules governing how many hours a week you can work. They can work you 80, 100 hours. That's not illegal. They don't have to pay you anything. Like at best, maybe you're getting a few bucks a week to cover your travelling expenses and a bite to eat. And even at that, you can rest assured none of these lads can afford to be paying their cult Scientology cafe prices. These guys are bringing in sandwiches from home. That's for sure. We all know they're not exactly making money by volunteering for this cult. They'll be getting some of the courses at a discount price, all right, but they'll be working full-time jobs elsewhere almost certainly and still having to fork over money to this cult. Hey Hoax, how are you? We're outside the Dublin org of the cult of Scientology. Let me just quickly. It's a bank holiday Monday here, which will be akin to sort of like a Sunday traffic wise. Yeah, it's just a handful of staff members walking about with her. We did see one lady that looked possibly like she was a public member, and I only say that because she had a handbag on her side. So I presume if you're working in their staff, you wouldn't be strolling around with your handbag on your shoulder. Hey, Big Chief, how are you? So we have our Scientology funk groups here, which is warning, cult of Scientology. You have the Dianetics, which is what the Scientology is based on. Which Dianetics is the ramblings of a madman, Lafayette Ronald Hubbard, which he wrote when he was under copious amount of drugs. And then from that they've won all these other offshoot groups of the Narcanon, which is their horrendous drug rehabilitation program, where you spend 5 to 6 hours a day in a sauna for I don't know how many weeks. Is it 6 weeks maybe? I know the pure rundown is a couple of weeks. But if you're on the Narcanon, you'd be in there longer, wouldn't it? Be more like a 4 to 6 week stretch. Where you're in the sauna for 5 to 6 hours and you're thousands of times over the recommended amount of niacin and other vitamins. Hans Christian saying, two outside now, warned them, sun is dangerous to vampires. Absolutely, sun is dangerous to vampires. Absolutely there. If only if that was as simple as a stake through the heart. And we have our vulture ministers, we have our way to happiness, we have our applied scholastics, which I haven't seen any evidence of the applied scholastics being here, but certainly something to look out for, particularly as they are recruiting new cult members. And we have seen that some of them from last year, they do have children. So we definitely do want to keep our eyes open that they don't infiltrate our schools with any of their applied scholastic nonsense or their way to happiness or their drug-free world or the truth about drugs or the fight for kids. Criminon is another thing they do, is their prison program. And then we have these ones, United for Human Rights, Youth for Human Rights, Commission Citizen for Human Rights. And like, they sound all very impressive. You think, Jesus, these guys are big on human rights, which we know they're not. They're big on violating human rights and exploiting the law, because these guys believe that they're above the law. Let me put on the main playlist there. Put on this one. And we'll put her in shuffle mode. That way we don't know what we get. We'll get a random order. And of course we have this one. We have victimshavevoices.com, which is a fantastic website our lovely Haggis put together. And there you'll find survivor stories, support and resources available, legal help, and how to report the abuses of Scientology, such as child abuse, elder abuse, financial fraud, forced labour, and ID theft. And this is a new one I came up with to replace the old A2 one I have, which I have on it. I have touch assist, nerve assist, the purification rundown, e-meter auditing. The introspection rundown is detrimental to long-term health. For pain relief, consult medical professionals. Stop the abuse. And if you remember, it was that the introspection rundown is what they had for Lisa McPherson on. There's a child just inside there. I won't put my camera on her. Child on rollerblades. So she probably is one of her parents is in there. But I hate seeing children being in the cult, but what can you do? And now this is mainly for people walking by so they can read on up some of the stories. Oh, how have I done? Oops. Zoom in a bit. So there we have Philip Gale's story. We have Nora Lockett there as well. And I have Flo Barnett, which is, I don't know if you guys are aware of Flo Barnett, but she's Shelly Miscabage's. No, she's not. Oh, she is. Sorry, I was confusing myself here. Flo Barnett was Shelly Miscabage's mother, who left the church and joined an independent Scientology movement, which obviously upset Davy Miscavige. And then coincidentally, she was found dead, shot 3 times in the chest, once in the head with a long barreled rifle, and they ruled her death as suicide. How the fuck did she manage to do that by suicide? So that is highly suspect. And then even more intriguing, which I thought was that that is also around the same time that Shirley Miscavige was last seen in public, which is very interesting. So I don't buy that one as suicide. Oh no, you aware actually. Are you guys aware of the Noah Lockwood is a 24-year-old American who was studying Russian studies. He died by suicide from a 10-floor hotel window. And by the sounds of it, they had him bankrupt. 24-year-old student, and yet he'd paid over $5,000 to Scientology and courses. And when he committed suicide, he had $171 left in cash in his name. So you can imagine that the Scientology was draining him of resources and definitely was detrimental to his health for him to have been committed suicide after he went into one of their cult premises. And this is even where it gets wacky. It gets wackier. Oh, there's your man, Devontae. He obviously goes to the gym a lot. I think very possibly he's also. And he does dress differently than the others. Why would he have a backpack on him? I'm training for something, maybe. I know he does have his own Instagram. Yeah, he got this poor guy. Noah got some wacky delusions that he claimed his Scientology mentors were telepathic and could read minds. And when his father when his father suffered a massive heart attack, Noah insisted purely psychosomatic, and that's based on the teachings of Scientology. So we're starting to see a pattern here where Scientology is detrimental to someone's mental health. You have Flo Barnett there, which is Shelley's mum. We have Kyle Brennan, which is an even more. This is another highly dubious one, and there's a David Miscavige connection. Oh, there's a guard of van heading up that way. What time are we at? We're at 3 o'clock. Wonder what he's up to. Where Kyle Brennan was a 20-year-old student from Virginia, who died by suicide in Clearwater. That was while he was visiting his dad Thomas, who confiscated his depression medication, and that was on the advice of David Miscavige's twin sister. He locked his son's medication in the trunk of his car, and then later that day, his son was found dead with gunshot wounds. Allegedly, he died from self-inflicted gunshot wounds. Now, this is where, did he commit suicide, or was it a falling out with his dad? Did his dad do something? Because when you start looking into it, you find a lot of discrepancies in the stories that his dad gave to the police and what David Miscavige's sister gave to the police. They kept saying, oh, they were there, they weren't there, and all sorts of things, and retracting what they said, and then trying to say, oh, we got confused with days and whatnot. So there seems to be there's a lot of question marks over the family members linked to the Scientology leaders. Oh, we got oh, hey, Mad. We have Mad and we have Antics. We have the Dream Lovers. We're here outside the Dublin org of the cult of Scientology. And we have Eddie Perkins is another one I've done up. This is just more for, I've done up these ones more for people passing by, because I think these stories kind of highlights why Scientology is detrimental to someone's well-being. Ellie Perkins was a prominent Scientologist in Buffalo, New York. She was murdered by her 28-year-old son, Germany, who was suffering from severe untreated paranoid schizophrenia. And we know the Scientology's practices of avoiding psych meds. Hey guys, how are you? So she was instead of getting them treated with proper psych meds, she was treating them with mega doses of vitamins. So needless to say, when you're suffering from untreated paranoid schizophrenia, you can imagine he began experiencing aggressive hallucinations and delusions. His family refused him psychiatric care. He suffered a massive psychotic break where he thought that Ellie was trying to poison him with the mega dosing of vitamins, which is understandable, and he stabbed her 77 times. So that gives you some examples of how detrimental Scientology is to people's well-being in general. And then if you have any sort of mental health needs that do need proper help, you can see how detrimental it is. And that's just a few of the more well-known stories. What about all the people that have nobody to advocate or speak for them after their deaths? Like these people are lucky in that they have loved ones outside the cult that have spoke for them outside the death and outside the cult and tried to get justice for them, which in itself shows how deep coffers Davy Miscavige has in his war chest that he's been able to fight all these cases. And the way they have been ruled as the cult having no responsibility, shall we say, even though we know it definitely is directly related to the cult's dangerous practices. And then we have this one. We have Kajabala was a Norwegian university student who died by suicide in Nice in France, just hours after completing the Scientology free personality test. Now, according to her pals, she had been in excellent spirits beforehand, but her mood shifted drastically after receiving high negative results, which and they describe which the results described her as being depressed, irresponsive, and hypercritical. She ended up jumping from her fourth-floor dormitory window later that afternoon because of receiving on the personality test she did, where you answered 200 questions, she received a negative result, and apparently she missed 100 points, and the cult deemed her to be unstable with a very limited IQ. So you can imagine that's something 20-year-old, and then you think, why would she have gone in for a free personality test? Maybe she was struggling in university to make friends. She was already painfully, maybe she was already socially awkward. So you can imagine how detrimental something like that would have been. Oh, he went to uni in Alabama. Interesting style. I wonder how old is he? Is he in his 30s? Oh, you can indeed, yeah. Hang on, I'll just pause the music there.
My wife's in a care home and I pass up and down here
Yeah,
twice a
yeah,
day.
yeah,
And I've always said if I have time, I'd stop
yeah,
and
yeah,
find out.
yeah.
You have an issue with them, a major issue with them.
All it's because I stumbled into, about 3 years ago, I stumbled into an online space of a lot of ex-Scientologists talking out about them, particularly those who grew up as children in Scientology. And their stories are very consistent. They're different, but yet there's consistency in the types and levels of abuses that they experience. It's not just money. It's like layers of an onion. You know the way there's so many
Yeah,
layers of an
yeah,
onion.
yeah, yeah.
There's so many different layers and different types of abuses going on in there. And even though I've listened to stories all around the world, the stories of abuses are very similar,
Cool.
especially by the children growing up into it. This is a book worth reading. It's written by Robert Dam. He's a guy in Denmark he joined the Scientology as an adult, but he was in his early 20s. The cult census turned out people who were late teens, early 20s were very good looking, very charismatic. And like they lose the thing, come in, do a free personality test, do a free course, come in, watch your free film on Dianetics. That to kind of get you in under, you kind of, like we're talking now, you don't think I'm going to do you any harm. I don't think you're going to do me any harm. So
Mind
did
yourself,
you?
mind yourself with the bikes there. No, look, I've often seen you here.
Yeah, the guy in front there is a prominent cult member here.
What is it?
He's over from America, based here. But yeah, he joined as in his early 20s, and he got up to OT level 5. But because the way they do,
Mind yourself. Oh my God.
yeah, I need to work out a way of
Jeepers.
I need to work out a way of stabilising these signs to get a gust of wind. I'm kind of thinking, you know, the little weights fishermen use on the poles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
if I
Yeah.
attach them to the back of it, that might give them a little bit of weight.
Okay. I can never understand, by the way, how anyone would just turn around and they say, I'm starting a church, you know. That's contradiction to what I believe the church is all about, you know.
But this is it. It's not a church and it's not a religion, and it's where I guess the way you can't really protect the wording church. I guess the way anybody, like you could call your house a church if you
That's what I'm
wanted,
saying, yeah.
and you
Yeah,
could do Bible readings,
yeah, yeah.
which I guess is where the preacher concept in America came about.
But fair play to you now
But
to be.
the way they start out is it's with the free personality test. That you go and you do the free personality. Good thing. Oh, where's the harm is free? Might be
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
There's 200 questions you do. Nobody ends up scoring fantastic results. You won't live a long, prosperous life. There'll always be there'll be a whole bunch of things wrong with you, and they'll say, "Oh, we've courses on that. Come in, do a free course," and then they'll say, "Oh yeah, we have another course here that will help you." Then they maybe say, "Oh yeah, you after." They'll say, "Yeah, you're minus 100 points on your free personality test. You do this course, you'll gain 5. And when we get you to net zero, then you'll be the best version of yourself." So then you come in, you do a course that maybe be 50 quid. The next course may be 100 quid. And then it kind of doubles. Then you find out it's 200 quid, 400 quid. So kind of very quickly it goes up. And then they say in prior to doing the courses, you need to do the meter the auditing, which they'll sell it to you kind of more as a therapeutic sessions, which is not. They're very leading in that they'll ask you a lot of questions rather than it's nothing like say a confessional they're going to see.
Right, I know, no.
You know, when someone is
And come
asking
here,
you,
are there many members in Ireland?
like in the last consensus, we had 87, but since then they've opened this place here, and I have seen signs since I've started turning up. They have been targeting the Indian community because I have seen evidence that there have been new Indian members have joined. Because that is
And I believe they
probably
just give out free meals and stuff like that as well. Didn't
oh
they?
they'll do things like that anyway at all to get you in, and they do things like the Irish dancing contest here.
Oh, I saw
And
them. I
some
saw
of the
the kids going up
gymnastics
and down because I saw.
because they offer the premises. They have an auditorium in there that seats about
Right.
1,200. State of the art. They have a grand piano, state of the art equipment and
But I
whatnot in
see,
there.
isn't it? I think the English one is subsidising this one big time, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Is it the
No, I read it there a while ago.
is it UK or is it the States? Because the States is tax exempt, the UK isn't.
Yeah.
So that's where I know the UK one. They have something there where they have it going through Coruscant in Australia, which is a not-for-profit group because they are tax exempt in Australia. That they have rerouted things in the UK through there somehow.
Unbelievable.
So it's highly complex and very
Yeah.
business savvy, shall we say, the way they do their. But you can rest assured, there's no way they're paying any. They're not paying any taxes to the Irish government anyway. That's for sure. Because there's so many ways you get around that. Because you can say the courses that they do that they charge for, you could say, well, that's based on their ethics, which is trademarked to the States. So then obviously there'd be a license fee for running any courses here. So you can very quickly see how you can very easily.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, look, fair play, for. I wish you
Yeah.
every success.
But this book anyway is based on he wrote his own book, and based on him writing his own life story in Scientology and how he realised it was a scam. A lot of people all across Europe got in contact with him that grew up in Scientology as children, and that's where he came up with this book. So it's definitely one worth reading. Yeah.
Is he one of them?
Oh no, he's just out enjoying himself listening to his. Listen to, I guess that's the new wave boombox. Remember them big boomboxes people have with the shoulders? Guess now it's a little soundbar. Yeah, thanks very much. Thanks for talking to us. I'll just pick up my signies there. So I definitely need to some way of stabilising these signs. Putting them close together doesn't seem to give them much of a protection. What I thought they would. But then the signs are pretty lightweight. I don't know what you call what's that, foam board or something. So there is nothing in them. So we do need to work out some sort of a better system there. Maybe little fisherman weights tied to the back of them. But even if I did, I wonder even if I strung them all together. I don't know. Yeah, it is a foam core, which is very lightweight. So I just have to see. I have to work out a better system. Now I could always bring less signage, but I think having the 9 or 10 of them lined up there is certainly handy. It does catch the eye of people walking by. And I've the selection of different messages on them for people to read. I do think these new ones I've come up with where I've done Philip Gale's story, I've done Nora Lockett, I've done Flo Barnett, which is Shelley's mum, I've done Kyle Brennan, Ellie Perkins, and Kaja Bala, which I think that could, and then we have Lisa McPherson here as well. So I think that gives a good mix of people who died at the hands of Scientology, and where you see very, very clear messages in it that Scientology itself is detrimental to folks' mental health. Yeah, I did think having me posters close together would give them more protection from the wind, but not so. So I'll have to think of what I can do. And there we have Steve Hassan's bike model there. Actually, that was the one at the end there that time. It's not always the one at the end. Like if I made a sort of a sandwich board out of them. How do I get them to stay upright, a sandwich board? Put a string on top. Little bit of a wooden base maybe, or a wooden frame. But then if I put a wooden frame on them, hey Cricket, how are you? If I put a wooden frame on the back of my signage, then they're not going to fit in my little A1 shoulder bag I have for my posters. Because as it is, those signs only just about fit in. What's something to think about? What can we do? And of course we have Roger here with his 2 signs, where he says, stop the abuse, cult. We no more kids in Scientology. We have Steve Hassan's book there. We have Jamie Mustard's Child X. And we have Robert Dams, The Dark Hotels, and Scientology's Children there. Just going to help myself to a drop of water there and keep myself hydrated. And then I have these 2 old A2 signs that I'm thinking of I might make into an A1 sign. I just want to think about what kind of wording I do want to put on an A1. I have to think about some wording that I want to use for when there is a children-friendly event on here. Like, is there a way of trying to reach their parents and prompting them to reconsider that maybe it's not a good idea to be bringing the kids doing the Irish dancing in here? I'm trying to think, is there any way I can with words try and reach them, even get them to reconsider? Just a little bit of movement going on in the reception area. 2, 3, that's 3 staff members. Going around the back. The one on reception, that's 4. And then with 2 just in front there chatting. They look like staff members as well. So apart from seeing one lady with her handbag, which I reckon in her normal clothes, maybe she was a public. I'm not seeing signs of anyone else. Someone's daughter is in there on the rollerblades, alright. Now, we can't really see in through the upstairs windows, which is where I think they have the course rooms. But at the same time, there's not many. We only have a handful of cars. We're 4 now in front. We had 5 cars and no 4 cars. 4 cars, 1 estate car, and 2 minivans out the back. So that's not a hell of a lot of people. They're mostly staff members, so there's not many public members in there at all, which is good to see because you think it's a bank holiday Monday today. Oh, I do. Don't turn off the speaker and put back on the music. Bank holiday Monday, so if they did have, you'd imagine bank holiday Monday of an afternoon will be when you'd have the public cult members popping in to do courses and whatnot. I would have imagined. So it's a good sign that we don't see many in there. Apart from one lady, the rest are definitely staff members. Yeah, a grocery cart or something with wheels. But it's kind of more. I need a portable solution that I can bring that I'm easily able to carry when I'm walking and then on the bus then as well, because I have 2 buses to get and a little bit of walking in between the 2 buses. Like I have my backpack there and I have an A1 bag I put over my shoulder to put all the posters in. But I do think a granny trolley. A granny trolley would certainly be handy, but because of the A1 posters, it would have to be a fucking that's one big ass granny trolley. Do you know what I mean? It just wouldn't be practical trying to put it on and bring it up on a bus. The 2 lads in black here. Interesting. 2 lads dressed in black. So they definitely know where they're going. He's starting to chat to the receptionist. So, what do you reckon? Staff members or public? There's someone in a red shirt coming in here now. Or he's going into the cafe. So a little bit of movement in there. Oh, there's one of the posters gone. So it does look, there is a sign of possibly a few people doing courses in there. Hey Donna, how are you? Yeah, we're outside here, outside the Dublin org of the cult of Scientology. It's a bank holiday Monday here, lads. So it's very similar to I like to think of a bank holiday Monday would be similar to a Sunday. And we're certainly seeing that here. It looks like a normal Sunday here. Not much activity going on inside there at all. There's two people over there. On the later stage of middle aged. Can't really see them through the hedge. But definitely in their 50s or 60s. I wonder are they in there doing courses. They certainly don't stand out to me as being staff members anyway. Family members of the public because they are up there a distance. I presume that's because I'm here with my camera and they don't want to be. They don't want to be caught on it. Hey Brian, how are you? We're outside the Dublin org of the Cult of Scientology on a bank holiday Monday. Nice and sunny here, but we do have a cool breeze. Like even the smaller E2 ones are getting blown around as well. Like, drop your e-meter, Peter, and set yourself free. Just load the CO. Don't need a sick check. Like I could leave them out kind of lower down angle like that there, but we'll give them less. Well, let me think. Maybe I should ask Google AI for help. But I do think there's something to be looked into though with them little fisherman weights and a bit of string. Because I could easily attach them to the back. They wouldn't add any more bulk to me signs, I don't think. Because I can always attach the weights to them when I get out here. Carry the weights in my backpack, and you know, that's something to look into. I don't know about them being nicely made eyes. I'm not very good artist wise. And I had a hell of a fucking bugger trying to line them up properly, but I'm not aiming for professionals. I'm aiming for amateur and I think they do the job. But they certainly do catch the eye. And I do in particular I do love the use of the different high vis colours. Because that does catch the eye. You know what, I'm just going to nip across the road just to see. Just going to run across the road here for a sec. I just hope a gust of wind doesn't come, lads. Because like that is a nice like that does catch the eye even when you're coming this way. Okay, granted. Actually, some of the signs you can read from this distance. Because I can read the touch assist nervous system. I can read the warning cult of Scientology and the front groups. I can read the victimshavevoices.com survivor stories. And I can read the abusive cult of Scientology. Learn why we protest. To end the abuses of Scientology, Sciento.space. So definitely some of them are readable from over here. And this is from someone who needs reading glasses to read normal print. What's the case there? What do you want? Oh, thanks very much. Do you live around here? Yeah. Can I ask you? Oh no, I have it over here. I'm just wondering, like, how do you guys feel about the cult being here and having the Irish dancing and things events?
You're not video now, you're recording.
And I have it focused over.
Yeah, but my voice and all.
Hang on, let me just Let me see, can I mute this here? Sorry about that, lads. I just had to mute there because the guy didn't want to be on. Like I explained to him, he wasn't on camera. But he didn't want his voice recorded either, which is fair enough because he lives around here. Oh, there's me. My signs are taking a bit of a. Yeah, definitely need to rethink of the. Hang on. Let me just put them down lower. I definitely need some way of stabilising the signs. That's for sure. This is all good research, though. It's all good. This is how we learn. You learn from your experiences, you know. It's never a failure when you try something out to see how it works and then learn then how can you improve. We definitely do need to make a few adjustments. Yeah, I'm just going to. I need them a bit lower down more. So I'm just going to try leaving them more at a slope like that and see does that make a difference. Maybe it doesn't make much of a difference. If I wasn't dropping them as well. Just going to try putting some up down here, see does that make a difference. Oh, this is disaster, lads. Disaster. Oh, absolute disaster. Well, not really disaster, we're learning from it. Like, to be fair, them gusts of wind are pretty strong, though, to be fair. I'm just going to plonk it down for a minute while I set up my signage again. So, this bloody breeze. So, like if I had a base to clip them into, maybe I've put them up more upright. Not sure either. Maybe put them more upright, maybe. That's all good experimentation. So if I leave them up more like that, I wonder. Maybe leave them up higher than low. Rather than lower is better. Now, Stephen Rogers getting knocked over today. Oh, Roger. Here we go. There we go. Now we'll see is that better. So I've left them more upright. I did think if I had them more of an angle it would be better, but maybe having them more upright with less of a space there for the wind to get in, maybe that's better. We'll see how it turns out anyway. Well, so maybe taller is the key. Connor saying happy BC Day. Oh, it's a holiday in British Columbia. Oh wow. It's a bank holiday here as well. AJ Young, how are you? Thanks very much, Shantix. How do you say in Holly there are many cults, but today it's about Scientology. Well, actually, there's thousands, possibly even hundreds of thousands of cults in existence in the world today. But from what I've observed, Scientology is definitely well up there as one of the worst. Certainly, it seems to be the worst currently in existence today. Definitely in contender for worst cult ever. Absolutely, yeah. And some people can. I went over the far side there. I was able to read the victims of voices one, the warning cult of Scientology. I was able to read the top half of this one, the abusive cult of Scientology. Learn why we protest. I was able to read the touch assist one, and I was able to see, make out that that one was warning about Scientology being dangerous from the far side of the road there. So definitely, people in their cars walking down are certainly getting a good eyeful. And this is where I don't have much of a lens in this camera phone. But definitely me walking by these all of that writing, and this is someone who needs glasses to read normally. Like even Lisa McPherson one is the smallest font. She is still very legible of just someone casually strolling by. There's definitely plenty there for folks to read. Passing by, enough to catch the eye of people passing by in their cars. They'll plant the seeds of doubt to know I most definitely am not out here running some sort of a bizarre cult promotion. And that in itself, I think even just having the high vis signs there in itself is soon, they're doing most of the work. What's written on the signage then is an added bonus. If you beat to the horn there, what's written on the signs themselves is really an added bonus. Because that's what we want. We want people to question. See me out here and question, why would I be out here giving up my free time of a bank holiday Monday? Where to be honest, I'd prefer to be at the beach. Absolutely. I wouldn't mind even having a nice cool pint of lager right about now. Certainly the right weather for it. Oh yeah, that's right, Miriam. Alleged CA is the guy who filmed the event on, was it on LRH Way? Or that was outside Big Blue. So he does, alleged CA does a lot of good work. And I think he said he's renting around there, but he does, I've seen quite a lot of his videos he's putting out. He's an excellent workouter. Trying to say, cult of Scientology sucks, and most certainly does. Absolutely, Laura and all this do know about him. Absolutely, they do suck big time. I'd love a coffee right now. Actually, I'd love a nice coffee. Absolutely, I would. Oh wow, Kathy's been up since 5 a.m. Oh wow. Oh, antics day. Oh yeah, cool, cool. Yeah, you don't want to be waking up the baby squirrels. So Brian is saying he got up this morning, got coffee from the store. Oh, he finished his essay he was working on. Then went outside and sharpened his machete. Oh wow. Brian's been busy in his garden. He done his essay. Busy in the garden. Oh, fantastic. We don't have much of a breeze here, but I'm much wondering if that is having them more upright is maybe better, or maybe not. That one there is looking a bit suspicious. Let me just tilt this one a little bit. He's rocking there a little bit. Dang it, if only I could remember my school. My school physics would have helped me here, but I don't remember. Maybe leaving them taller is better. Let's see. Brian is saying, my frustrations on some sticker bushes along the back fence lines. Alright, Brian. You must have muscles on your muscles with all the yard work you've been doing. I know Roger has been sworn to secrecy. He couldn't possibly divulge any of Irish's secrets. Apart from Irish having an obsession with yarn, there isn't any secrets to divulge. Like when you consider, I nipped out to the shops last night to buy some fresh berries, and I came back with a bag full of yarn. So go figure, lads. I think I might have a problem. Yeah, it's a bank holiday here as well, Donna. I'm not sure if it's a bank holiday in the UK as well. I know some of our bank holidays are the same as UK, but others are different. I just say anywhere I got to go. I was on for a few hours. Yeah, it's the future. It's night time for Mad. Have a great night's sleep, Mad. Oh, hey, Lara, how are you? Ryan is saying we're on the home stretch with the initial clean up. About 50 or 60 feet of the back fence. Oh, fantastic. Thanks very much for asking people to like and subscribe. That is something I keep forgetting. I'm absolutely crap at the self promotion. Absolutely rubbish at it. Hey Helly, how are you? Great to see you. Oh yes, do please subscribe to after Legacy. He's doing great work out there on outside Big Blue. Absolutely nice to see the damage they do to children, because I can absolutely compare that what you get subjected to as a child is a long lasting lifetime impact on you. I just over a little bit. I think maybe taller is better. That was pretty strong gust, so I think having them propped up like that is definitely better. But I can definitely concur that the abuses you experience as a child In particular, mental abuse. That sticks with you for a lifetime, lads. It's something the way I look at it is it's more scars engraved on your soul. That is something you learn to live with rather than you ever truly fully get over. And we know these guys that definitely are detrimental to people's mental health, particularly when you're a child and your brains are still developing. Oops. At least when they do fall over, they just fall over like that. But I do need to look into getting some little fisherman weights, I think, that I could attach to the bottoms of them when I get out here. We'll give them that little bit of extra weight. See, like these smaller ones are no more, so it's not really the size of them because the A2 ones are just as blowy. So I'm definitely going to stick with the A1 because it does help to catch the eye. Hey Georgia, how are you? And I did find when I was over at the far side of the road, the signs with the bigger writing on them, I was able to read them from way over the far footpath there, which is good. Because you know the passing traffic then is able to see them. But even at just being able to see, like that's a fair amount of high visitness we have going on there. That definitely does catch the eye. Happen to plant seeds of doubt as to what would I be doing out here of a bank holiday Monday afternoon, and that's definitely what we want to do. But the guy who was talking to when I was over the far side of the road, he didn't want to be caught on camera, which I explained to him. I didn't have the camera on him. It was over pointing towards a cult. He didn't even want his voice to be recorded, which is fair enough. So that's why I muted myself. But he was saying that there are some locals that go in just to use the cafe. They go in there for a coffee, which I found very curious. Because like there's plenty of coffee shops around, just yonder that way a bit. About 10 minutes walk away, there's another shopping centre up that way with plenty of good cafes. Like there's a Costa Coffee, you have a Starbucks, you have a lovely pub down this way, and down beyond yonder there are more coffee places. So I don't know why, unless it's just morbid curiosity, you go into the cult to have a coffee, just have a bit of a nosy around. I don't know, I don't get it. Ethics are saying, sorry, not John, shaming. Thanks very much, Cathy. But you know what? I'll show hey Georgia, I'll show the books again. So the books I have with me this is available on Amazon. It's Robert Downs, The Dark Hotels and Scientology's Children. And that's a book he's written on stories he's collated from children who grew up in Scientology all around Europe and the abuse that they encountered at the hands of this evil cult. He also has a book he's written called The Defector. The Defector, which is based on his own experiences joining Scientology as a young 21-ish year old. So that is definitely what I read as well. I also have Jamie Muster's book, Child X. This is Jamie talking about his experiences growing up as a child in Scientology. And the reason why he called it Child X is that his experience is by no means unique. The experience he had growing up in Scientology is very similar to what a lot of other kids in Scientology has experienced as well. So sadly it's nothing unique, which I think is shameful. That the vast majority of us have been blissfully unaware of a fraction of the abuses this cult is guilty of. And then the third book I have is Dr. Stephen Hassan's book on combating cult mind control, which I think that's an excellent book to help you to understand what exactly is a cult, why are cults harmful, and then it also gives you an idea of there's a lot of similarities between cult behaviour and an abusive relationship. Hi Trevor, thanks very much. Keep up the good work. Yeah. So I just want to thank everyone for joining me today and supporting me. And if you haven't already, if you wouldn't mind liking this stream and subscribing to me, thanks very much. Thanks very much, Cathy. Asking people to like, subscribe, and share the important works Irish does to expose the abuse of Scientology. I try my best. Like the way I look at it is, worst case scenario, I'm coming out here. Oh, there's someone beeping the horn. Nice to get the beeps. The way I look at it is, worst case scenario, I'm coming out here wasting my time. I'm perfectly happy with that. But just on the off chance that someone is passing by to catch a glimpse of my signs who would otherwise be thinking of going in for a free personality test, at least folks are going to think twice about walking into those doors, because you might think, where's the harm in going in for a free personality test or doing a free course? And we know from this story, definitely worth checking out, is Kajaballa's story shows that there is most definitely harm in going in for a free personality test. Oh, hey, Sophia. Oh, there we have Roger blushing again. And as we know, Roger the alien, he blushes in green. He's got a dark shade of green there, so he has. Oh, yes, we could do with a Lara book. You know, I'd love a Tori Magoo book as well, because Tori has so many stories. You know what? The more books we can get out there on the bookshelves, I think the better. Because it's very easy to go out. It's very easy for the cult to say the likes of Leah Remini, oh yeah, she's just a disgruntled celebrity because she paid so many millions to Scientology, but she couldn't ascend up to the upper OT levels like Tom Cruise. You know, you could write that off as jealousy. I think the more how do we put it? I think the more people who do talk out about their experiences in Scientology, I think it makes it that much harder for the cult to say, oh yeah, so and so is disgruntled. Like with Robert Dam, the way they tried to say, didn't they try to say he had defrauded the cult in some way? That he left in disgrace, and that's why he's speaking out, and why everything he says is a pack of lies. Yeah, I love me some Tory, so I do. In fact, that's what I do. The mornings I know I'm coming out here, I listen to Tory's Friday Night Lives, because that does help settle the nerves. Because I have to be honest with you, lads, as soon as I woke up this morning, I never wake up thinking, oh goody, I'm going protesting at the cult. There's a billion reasons raced through my mind as to why I can't come out here today. Because it certainly is the last place in the world I'd like to be. There's so many other things I could do. But I certainly do think it is worthwhile to come out here. And that when I came to give up a day to come out here protesting. I definitely do not want to see anyone innocently walk through those doors to do a free personality test or to do a free course. And if there's some way of planting some seeds of doubt into the Irish dancing and the gymnastics community as to maybe, yeah, I understand why you want to partake in the Irish dancing and gymnastic contest, but maybe boycott the ones taking place in the cult. Well, that is something I do want to research into to see. I want to understand more about the gymnastics that does go on here contest. And then the Irish dancing ones as well, because I know there are a few different organisers of Irish dancing contests. I don't know about that, Cathy. But in a way, I suppose we all are. We're all doing our bit to help spread awareness of the abuses of this cult in our own ways. Do you know what I mean? I do love it. This is why I love wearing the high vis, because you can see I'm reflected there in the upper window. So it definitely is well worthwhile me coming out here in the high vis. Absolutely, I could be knitting at home. Cause fuck, I so badly wanted to stay home this today as well and finish working on the tutu that I'm making for Emer. I'm making her a lovely pink and purple tutu. And when I have that done, the nice beep of the horn. When I've that done, I'm going to be making her a pair of ballet shoes. And I've never made ballet shoes or tutu before either. So I'm excited to see how they turn out. Because that's the one thing I do like about the scallywags I'll be knitting. And the clothes I'll be making for them. A lot of these techniques are first for me, so I'm learning a lot by doing them. Just keeping an eye on me. Yeah, I knew that one was going to go. But I do think having them up that bit higher makes them more stable, which I thought having them more of a slope would have. But definitely having them up high, definitely keeping them up that bit higher does have them more stable for every reason, which is the opposite that I would have expected. Definitely some little fisherman weights in the back. Now, where do I get fisherman weights cheaply? That's a problem for later. But like by and large, like the posters are reasonably stable. So I definitely do like the A1 ones there. We have the extra visibility through them. Because there's my two A2 ones. Does make a big difference. Oh, I don't know about the antics. Because I do knit the English way, but the way Monica does it, the European way that Monica knits is a lot more efficient. And I think possibly Monica is much faster than me. But I tried doing the yarn in my left hand the way Monica does, but I just can't. I can't get my fingers to work right. So I think I'll stick with the English way, which is the way my mum taught me. Continental, that's it. That's the right technique. Yeah, continental is what they call it. I did watch a few videos on it, and it looks so easy when you watch the videos, but I just couldn't get my fingers to do it with the yarn. So I think I might stick with the way I do things. Like even though it is pretty quiet here today, we've only seen a few people wander in and out. It's still worthwhile coming out here. Because even in itself, just saying this is what a normal day looks like here for this coast when they're not running any of their child entrapment events. Which that's what I think they are. They are child entrapment events. When you're offering their space for very little money to the kids groups of the areas, that is definitely entrapment. And to have my antics are saying I make continental and you're twice. Oh, okay. I'll take that as a compliment, antics, because you know what you're talking about. But anyway, I guess the English way of knitting, you burn more calories because you're certainly moving your arm more. So that has to be burning more calories and earning yourself more chocolate brownies you can eat. Or at least that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. Yeah, I think it is probably better to have the. I think that's a better way to do it. Have the posters all lined up together than try to split them either side. Definitely easier for me to manage and keep an eye on them. Yeah, you're probably right there. I've perfected my technique, and I know my technique has changed than how I used to knit when I was younger, and that is more because I know how to knit English style. I have adapted my knitting style somewhat because I do have um I do have a certain stiffness in my fingers these days, which is probably to be expected. When you're 51-year-old lady going through the menopause, you're going to have stiff joints. After you say you've been knitting for probably muscle memory. Although I did have about 26 years of a break for knitting. I used to knit a lot when I was younger. I knitted for a while when I started college, but then the knitting wasn't compatible with courting and points, shall we say. And when did I take up knitting again? It was only last year. It was only last April, I think, that I took up the knitting again. But your body does remember these things. It does remember. Because I even know some of the new techniques I've been doing that they're not exactly new. I've sort of remembered incidents of in my past and my mum teaching me some of these knitting styles. So, we forget an awful lot as we grow older until something triggers a memory. So if you're saying, or think of it this way, the brain is fuel, the arm workout that creates the beauty. Well, something to you. Antics is saying, rub castor oil in your hands every night. There's some merit in that. Because my gran used to use castor oil, which she used to rub on her. Yeah, much for the castor oil. It's anti-inflammatory. I'm certainly not taking I'm certainly not swallowing tablespoons of castor oil, that's for sure. But yeah, I'll try rubbing it into my joints. Hell, why not? I have Sophia has me taking creatine powder of a morning, which I think does make a difference. Because I'm not quite as stiff when I wake up in the mornings. I'm finding it that bit easier to leap out of bed. Kathy is saying you're just a young'un, Irish. You're all a young'un, yeah. Relatively speaking, I am a young'un. But I certainly won't be hurdling any fences anytime soon. Not that I hurdled any fences when I was younger. Heck, I'm the type of person that could trip over fresh air, lads. Here's an older gent in a shirt and tie. Shirt and tie and black pants. That certainly seems to be. I've seen a few of them in there in that outfit. Black pants, shirt, short sleeve shirt and a tie. Like he's knocking on it. Like he should be retired. He's easily well into his 60s. Maybe even in his 70s at this stage. That poor guy should have been retired. So black trousers, white shirt and tie. Kind of curious what the different outfits mean and what their pecking order are. I was at Devontae there nicely suited up. Is that another guy? No, that's another guy. So we do see a few of them in their little waist jackets. Oops. Absolutely. Oh. Okay, so I don't think it really matters what way I stack them. If a gust of wind gets them, they're going to go. That's good to know. So I do need to weigh them down somehow. Absolutely, Antics, you're right, Harry. Yeah, we do support religious freedom. It's the abuses we don't support. Like, people are free to believe in what they want. But for a start, oh, yeah, let me just pick up these posters again. This is good. Good to know. I do need to stabilise my poster somewhat. Good to know. I could lie them out flat. Like, I mean, I could lie them out flat on the ground. There's still enough room there for people to walk by, but I do think they're more visible having them upright. I do think having them upright is better for visibility point of view. Here we go. That's an Amazon delivery. Exactly, antics. Yeah, just the abuse of cults. And that's what Scientology is, absolutely. There's no freedom of religion when it comes to Scientology. Because for a start, the only books that they're encouraged to read are books written by Lafayette, Ronald Hubbard. Their beliefs, they're told that if it's not written by LRH, it's not true. So that to me is not freedom of choice or freedom of religion, where you have to blindly believe the word of just one man, and every single other person on the planet are not telling the truth. Sophia is saying, Kathy, I intend to eat either fries or chocolate in a bit to fuel my body for a walk by the lake. Oh, fantastic, Sophia. Wine is saying, I like to refer to it as freedom from other people's unpleasantness and nonsense. And there's a lot of unpleasantness, nonsense going on in the coast. Absolutely, there is. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, the one good thing is, with all this blown around in my signs are holding up well. They're not falling to pieces, which is good. It tells me the signs are able to take a bit of a battering, which is good. They're durable. Just need to improve their stability. I do. It's good exercise for me, I guess, having to pick them up again. I'm just saying, I like to refer to it as freedom from other people's unpleasantness and nonsense. And there's a lot of pleasant nonsense goes on in the cult building. Absolutely, there is. Read Velcro. Oh, I wonder. So you're thinking using some Velcro on the top of the sign and attach it to the wall. I wonder would that work. Because I do have Velcro. Yeah, that's an idea. Because using Velcro, we wouldn't be damaging the wall and it'd be temporary. Hey, Prof. Kakan, how are you? We're outside the Dublin org of the Culture Scientology. It's a bank holiday Monday here. What is it, 4:15? And it's pretty empty in there. We have 4 cars in the front car park. There's a poster gone. Just get this out of the way. Yes, there were 4 cars in the front, 4 cars in the back, an estate car, and 2 minivans. And we're seeing maybe about a dozen staff members. And maybe a couple, 3 or 4 people that look potentially like they were public members and they're doing courses, and that is it. That is absolutely what we like to see. There's so little going on in this org. Like for the size of that building, like when you look at it from the front, you don't get much of an appreciation for how big this building is. It kind of goes back as deep. It goes back a long way down as like it's what is it? It's 750 square foot, lads. That building is. So that just gives you an idea of the depth of and the amount of course rooms and everything they have in there. And yet it's fucking empty. Like even if you think of it, the electric bill alone would surely have them operating at a loss, you'd imagine. So free is saying freedom of religion is also freedom of religion, and Scientology doesn't respect the second. Absolutely they don't. Despite what they say when you first join, there is no freedom of religion or keep holding on to your own religious beliefs. Oh, flip. I wonder though. So I look into that Velcro idea. Like even if I made sandwich boards out of them, could I make sandwich boards out of them? That's a few ideas. So we have the Velcro idea. Whoops, sorry about that. The gimbal did a loop the loop there. So we want to look into the fisherman weights using Velcro on them. And what was the third idea? Or put them in as a sandwich boards, potentially. Something to work on to make them more stable. Now we could always bring less signs, but I think they're a good mix of signs though to have, and I think they do help to catch the eye that bit more for the passer motorists. So we'll see if we can manage this amount of signs going forward. Just work out how to stabilise them somewhat. Yeah, they would add to my pack. But like I could put a little bit of weight into my backpack, alright, I don't mind. It's more the if it's what's the word? If it's not dense, if you know what I mean. Because I do have limited space. Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. I wasn't getting good exercise. I think they'd be too lightweight to put into a sandwich board. So definitely, the Velcro is definitely an idea. Certainly look into the idea of the fishermen weights as well. I'll look into both of them and see. Like in theory, the Velcro should work. But it's good, like it's not like you could look at that and say, "Oh, my signs keep getting blown over by the wind." You could look at that as a disaster. I don't think it is a disaster because we're learning from it. Ryan is saying, "I grew up around a lot of unpleasant religious nonsense." So he knows it when he sees it. Absolutely. We learn from our experiences, that's for sure. Prof. Takan is saying, Ron Reagan Jr., a non-profit Freedom from Religion Foundation, he says he's not afraid of burning in hell. Yeah, I suppose if you don't believe in hell, yeah, it's very easy to say you're not afraid of burning in it. But like, we don't really need freedom from religion though, do we? Unless someone is trying to ram religion down your throat. Like I look at religion, that's is more of a personal thing. Now there's a difference I think between religion and between cults. Like the JWs who'd be knocking at your door trying to give you their watchtower literature. But like I've never ever, I mean 51 years on this earth, I've never ever had a Catholic priest knocking on my door wanting to give me literature. The first cast count, Brian is saying the only hell is the one we make ourselves. Very probably, Brian, yeah. Thanks very much, Antics, reminding folks to hit the like. That's one car leaving the coast there anyway. One car less than there. Thanks very much, Prof. Sophia is saying Scientology buildings are like those giant trucks. It's all about impressing others to distract from the lack of substance inside. Absolutely, Sophia, yeah. There's a lot to be said for that because they do them very, very glossy looking on the inside. Absolutely, they have them decked out very pretty, alright. Which to me will be the first red flag. Because why do you need it so glossy looking? Like a sales, it's like a sales showroom really with all the glossiness. The Titanic winds got them, absolutely, Sophie, absolutely. It's just a roll of duct tape. Oh, Antics is team duct tape, absolutely, Antics. You got good news out of duct tape anyway on your last tripod. Or some reusable double sticky tape stuff they have now. Yeah, potentially, yeah. Right. I will work it out. We'll work it out. But I do think we have some good ideas there what we can do. Oh, that'd be fantastic to see Antics. They're all talking up on Roger to take off on a magical journey, yeah. He's been for one of them already. That would be a sight to see. UTAC. Oh, I wonder. I just had to be careful though it didn't leave any markings on the wall behind me. Just to be on the safe side. Because you can rest assured if I did leave any accidental markings behind, but Colt will be telling porcupines on me. But we don't really want. Yeah, we'd have to make sure not to leave any markings. Not to do anything that could jeopardise us being able to come out here putting our signage up. But we'll figure out anyway, we'll figure out. Hmm. Oh, the new leave no marks. The new kind of stuff, double-sided tapes that leaves no marks. I'll have to look into that, Catty. And particularly if it's reusable. Yeah, that could work. Because you can see how uneven it is there, like trying to get them, like the wall is uneven. Like you can see there, there's a lot of gaps there in the wall. It's not exactly flat, which is probably why the wind is finding it so easy to grab a hold of them. So yeah, a bit of sticky tape. Because it's not taking much of the wind to blow them over. But we did have something to add a bit of stability. We're getting a little bit bashed, but they're still, it's actually good. This is actually good testament that this foam board is actually quite good. Like them signs are getting quite a backwind there, they're holding up pretty well. Oh dear. I wonder is there someone inside the cult looking out and thinking their OT powers are working because they're managing to knock over my signs. Oh man, would that be funny? Tanner say maybe you could find either a sheet of magnet and cut into one strips and glue those horizontal in the back at the top to make the top edge heavier. We see what you're saying. Sheet of magnet that you could stick to the top of the back. That would make them heavier because it is at the top is where it's at the top is where the wind is catching a hold of them. If you gave them a bit of weight, it would make it harder then for the wind to catch a hold to tip them forward. That would work out. That might work, Donna. That's something for me to have a look into. And you guys get plenty of good ideas. Oh, there's a girl on the roller skates. Oh, thanks very much, Jennifer. I think it is worth persisting with. I was kind of torn, was I coming out with too many signs? But now that I'm out here, I do think the more signs is definitely better because it does catch the eye that bit more. Yeah, I'm just a bit reluctant to. Oops. I just don't know how much of this is public. Like the wall is public property, but the railings, I don't know, is that part of the cult premises? How would I find out if the railings is public property? We asked South Dublin County Council maybe, because they would surely know. And also, are there any rules and regulations over how high can you display your posters? Like, I know I can display them at that level against the wall. Well, if I was to display them up high against the railings themselves, I have to look into that to see, legally am I allowed to do that? So for you saying my idea would be a collapsible rod you could attach the signs to and a little weight on each side of the sign to stabilise the side rods. If I had a collapsible rod that I could carry in my backpack, potentially, yeah. A few good ideas there now. Dan is saying, I see you got Michael's there too in Dublin. Look there because they have it here at Michael. They sell sheets of magnet material. Oh, I certainly will. Thanks very much, Donna. Certainly look into Michael's. Donna is saying, I used to cut photos into shapes to make magnet fridges or fridge magnets. Oh, interesting. Antic says, I have a bag of magnets that she could give me if I was there. Well, next year I will be. Next year I will be Antics, hopefully. Donna is saying the sheets I used to get were very thin, so you'd maybe need 2 layers on top of one another and at the top backside of your signs. I'll have a look into popping into Michael's, see what they have. Antics is saying hot glue a magnet and mount them on each post along the way. Oh, hot glue. Ooh. Donna is saying the sheet will distribute the weight more evenly across the back too, which it will do. It adds stability to them. Absolutely. Antics is saying I don't think the sheets will string enough, but they will 12 bags of magnets. Astic, you guys are giving me some good ideas there. Some good ideas to look into and see what I can source from here. And it isn't going to break the bank either. Yeah, it's the tops of the signs. Definitely got the wind is catching a hold of. So if we added the weight to the tops, it would definitely make it that much harder. Yeah, I did think having them grouped together would block out the wind, but catching the tops of them. At least the magnet would weigh it down a bit. Just keeping an eye on these signs here. We have a toddler coming up on a little trike, so I just want to make sure my signs don't blow over again. Oh, I see what you're saying, Donna, that the sheets are thin, but to double them up. Sophia is saying it would not attach to the wall or railing, and it would be easy enough to transfer because you just need 2 moderate rates of carriage. Yeah, it's another good idea, Sophia. It's just a family going by with a child on his bicycle. So that's why I was just being a bit more hyper vigilant and cautious just to make sure my signs didn't fall over as a kid was passing by. We have to be responsible when we're out here and make sure we're not interfering with anyone's right to use the pavement. And also that we don't accidentally cause injury to anyone by one of my signs falling over. Yeah, but Dan itself isn't a problem, though, antics. Because I do have a little bit of room. I can put them into my backpack. That's been carried on me back. So I can carry a little bit of weight as long as it's not bulky. Dana is saying, I see there's a higher part of the wall just to the left of where you are. And there, then top shouldn't be past the top of the wall. Oh yeah, possibly. Because that is higher there, isn't it? Oh yeah, that is higher. Because I could just as easily stand here. Yeah, let's try this, lads. Let's see if this is yeah, let's see this is a good experience. Let's see does this because we will be more sheltered here with the trees there. Whereas you're more exposed in the open there. So this might actually work better. So in theory we should get less of a breeze. Okay. Definitely getting my steps in today anyway, that's for sure. Oh, we're getting some appreciated beeps. This might be a winner here, lads, doing it this way. This might be a good idea. Like in theory with the trees there, we are that bit more sheltered, although that one just fell over there now. Is the wall a bit lower down here? It is, because this is on a slope, so we're yeah, a little bit lower down. The under blown over a little bit. Just grab the rest of me stuff. Yeah, we'll come back for Roger. Now let's get poor Roger all lonely down here. Yep, that one is Denmark's LA. Jen is getting in the car. Are you heading to the cottage, Jen? Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that is true, Donna. A typical day here is you'll get some sun, you'll get some wind, you'll get some rain. But like in theory, because you have the trees there, it should be that bit more sheltered. And as I say that, this one takes off. Well, what did they say? Every little bit helps. So definitely looking into the magnets and probably placing them there is that bit better of an idea. There's that poor lady with a walking stick. I hate seeing people with mobility issues going into this coast. Oh fuck, she's smoking too. Oh, for fuck's sake. So is that because Lafayette said smoking is okay, lads? Well, she's not walking great with that walking stick. And that's what I hate to see, because you know going into that cult isn't doing her any good. And she could probably be better off going to a proper doctor for help. I wonder if they codded her into doing courses. To say if you do enough of these courses, fix your mental mind and your body will be able to heal itself. And you just get a drink of water there. Donna was saying the wind never ends in Ireland. That's what she found out when she was there. Absolutely. It's rarely a day goes by where we don't have wind. Most days we'll have a few drops of rain as well. And of course we always have the sun. Sort of. Absolutely antics. JoJo's music is absolutely the best. Yeah, could I put a rope through the fence of a room after? Hmm. I don't know. There's something I need to look into and see. I think I'd probably have to ask South Dublin County Council. I think they'd be the ones to ask. And look into the local bylaws or even is it? Because if I think in general when I'm out and about, you don't see things, you don't see protest signs and things attached to railings anyway in Ireland. Not like you do in other places. I'll have to look into that though, because if I could. Yeah, I can't see the cult being happy with me attaching stuff to the railings though, but it's not what makes the cult happy that matters. It's what is legal and above board. What can I legally do? I think so, Jojo. I think that is the same lady happening in. And that is where you'd have to imagine. I do wonder, was it her son or daughter got her entangled in this coast? Because you know this yourself, when someone gets in, they are dragging in the family members. And they're saying, Sophie, yeah, we bet if they did that, they would be out there within minutes time to take it down. Oh, absolutely, I'd have no doubt on it that they would, and they'd have the guards called. But it's not so much what the cult wants, it's more where I'm not sure about the legalities of it. That's what I do need to work out. The wall is definitely public property, but the railing, I don't know. I don't know, is that part of their property or not? Or is the thing of that is dividing the property, their property from public. So that be considered neutral. Don't know about these things. I'll have to look into it though. But that's why I'm kind of reluctant to use the railings for now anyway, because I just don't know. And if I can at all, I want to avoid having any bother here. I don't want to accidentally break the law. I don't want to give the cult anything they can be trying to accuse me of. Give them absolutely nothing for them to be. Cathy saying, I was checking the fences even. Yeah, exactly. That's what I do need to check. Is it public or private? Because who maintains the fence? Hmm. It is on top of the wall. But maybe it is a public fence. Well, it wouldn't be though, but that is a private. Let me think about this. That's a private premises in there. Like that railings they have here along the front. It's the same railings they have all down along the side and all the way along the property. Because we can see the same railings all the way along the back there as well. So I kind of, my gut instinct is that the railings is part of cult property. But certainly we're looking into though to find out is that the case. But that's certainly what it looks like to me, because the way they have the railings all the way around, that I think it sort of makes sense to me. It would be part of the cult premises. Yep. A lady there dressed in black just wandering about. Going down the stairs there. Absolutely, Sophie. If it's public property, they can't stop it. The only thing there will be to check if it's public property. Then are there any council bylaws in place that would prevent it? There's that poor lady again. Hey Fergus, how are you? Sure, Tom Cruise can't be wrong. And ETS, where is the UFO? I don't think they believe in UFOs, did they? Wasn't it B-52 bombers that dropped us all here to our, where we got, what was it, thrown into the volcanoes or blown up? Oh yeah, there's that other lady I seen earlier with a handbag. I was actually wondering if she's a public member or not. Yeah, that lady that just walked in there is the one I seen earlier with the handbag that I was thinking, I wonder if she's a member of public. But she's definitely dressed in her normal clothes. There's someone going in there now. He waved at the lady out front. I'd be inclined to think that they're here doing courses rather than being staff members. This is soon back out again. Absolutely antics. That is probably the best, the more effective recruitment tactic to have these days is once they get someone in, they put a lot of pressure on them to rope in their family members. And that's what I kind of think when I see this elderly lady here with a walking stick. That one of her younger son or daughter I do wonder did they get her sucked into it? Yeah, that's what I'm going to look into. Donna, find out is it part of public property, in which case it would fall under the jurisdiction of South Dublin County Council. But if it's cult, then it'd be a no-no. But I'm sort of thinking it might be cult on account of the same sort of railing is all the way around this property. So that is sort of indicating to me maybe that's where technically it will be considered part of the cult. That was a few drops of rain I felt, or was that a bird pissing on me? Now the clouds are looking a bit grey there. There was a bit of light rain scheduled for later, so there might be some rain on the way. I definitely think though the posters do seem to be that little bit better up this way though. So that was a great idea, Donna. They definitely seem to be faring that little bit better up here. So that's basically where the higher part of the wall starts. Just making a mental note for next week so I know where to lay out my signs. But definitely putting them up there seems to be that bit better of an idea. Yeah, along the back and the side of the park, which is their property goes all the way, goes down it's quite deep. And when we looked from what we could see from through the park last weekend, it goes back a long way. This building does, which I suppose makes sense when it's 750 square foot. Like that's a lot of footage. Absolutely, Donna. Yeah, I like that. Wouldn't the house bikes facing inward? It would if they thought people could escape over the fence, but like that is my height there, and there you've another. Like that's probably a 7 foot fence. And then when you think about the only way out from what I could see any time we've been here, the only way out is through them front doors. You have quite a bit of a slope here. So you're not even going to get far enough to even to just maybe get as far as at the rails before someone has chased after you and hunted you down. So they don't need bikes on the rails. You certainly don't have time to try and climb over the top of them. But like in all honesty though, if this was a church or a community centre or just a normal building in general that's open to the public, where I'm standing here, isn't this a logical place or where you'd have a little pathway in for pedestrians coming in off the road? This is where there should be a nice little pedestrian pathway leading into the main to the main doors there, instead of having to go all the way down at the very bottom. And then even all the way in here, like there isn't even a normal footpath laid in anywhere. Like that's all designed for traffic coming in and out. So they certainly are not designed for foot traffic anyway, that's for sure. Tanner says 3 days ago on Friday we had 26 degrees. Then sat sun, we had showers, and now back to higher temps again. Oh fuck, that is hot. Nah, it's a nice. It's 22 or 23 degrees here, but there's a nice cooling breeze. Yeah, they're definitely Publix. And there's a bloke with her there as well. So they would be. I'm not quite sure what nationality them two people are. One of the African countries, anyway, possibly. Definitely, probably, yeah. They do look like two public members. They don't exactly look like they'd have pockets full of cash either. See, this is what I hate to see. People in there who are attending courses in here, none of them look like they're particularly wealthy lads. So to be able to afford courses and auditing in here, you have to imagine that they're compromising on their children's education future and probably even compromising on medical help itself. Well, as you know, medical care is pretty expensive. Unless you have private health insurance here, or you're one of the few lucky enough to qualify for the medical card. Absolutely, I think Danner absolutely does win the chat today. You're right there, Mantix. So who are you saying? I mean, how often are they wrongly going to call the police, proclaim this a property before the police say cut it out? Well, I have a feeling I think they've already got their warning from the guards because they've only called the guards on me twice over frivolous things. So I think they've already been warned about that. Is look, she's not breaking any laws. She's allowed to film in public. Atlantic's finally got a cup of Java. Fantastic. Atlantic's to say, I want to buy a copy of Fanatics. Phonetics, I guess you pronounce it. No, I think phonetics is a better way to call it. I know, but that sounds like phonetics sounds like it might do some good. How interesting, that couple we seen walking out the yard is on the far side of the road. I wonder will they walk down this way? They just didn't want to walk past me then, is it? No, they're walking on up that way. No, they're heading off that way, alright. That's a pity. I wouldn't have minded being able, I wouldn't have minded the opportunity to ask them a few questions. To ask them, are they public Scientologists and how long they have been Scientologists? Well, like if you are, let me think about this. If you are attending the cult of Scientology here for courses, you see someone like me standing out here in my high vis, my row of high vis signs, would you not be curious and think, I wonder why that lady is protesting against this innocent church at community centre I'm doing some innocent courses at? Do you know what I mean? There's a chappie there in an apron. Where's he at? I honestly don't know if there's any point me zooming in. I don't have much of a. I think it's a 2x zoom I have in this camera lens. Hey, vegan Christianity. Yeah, but I kind of like it though. Antics, phonetics kind of sound more. It sounds more appealing than Dianetics anyway. That's for sure. That'd be a fantastic title for the public works. Absolutely, I love it. Yeah, it's a fantastic title. Thanks very much, Reagan Christianity. Thank you very much for liking and subbing. There we have a Lara song. This is one of Lara's best, I think. There's a chap heading out on his little bicycle. He's sitting down below. He still has his apron on him though. Curious. Yeah, Reagan, we're here outside the Dublin org of the cult of Scientology. And it's a bank holiday Monday, 5 p.m. in the afternoon. And thankfully, we've seen very little activity in there. Where maybe at best we've seen about a dozen, or we even seen maybe a dozen staff members and a couple of public Scientologists in there doing courses, which is great. This is Bank Holiday Monday, but this is normally what a Sunday would look like. It's just as empty as this as well. Now they do hold some children-friendly events here to try and entice in the youth. They are involved in the Irish dancing community and in the gymnastics, where they'll hold their competitions here. Thanks very much. Thanks very much, Donna. I do my best. Like the goal of me coming out here, I have my high vis cap and my high vis shirt on me, which one thing I do like about the high vis is it gets reflected in the upper windows of the cult premises. I have my high vis signage as well, so this makes it blatantly obvious that I'm out here protesting Scientology. I'm not here running some sort of a Scientology campaign to entice people in. Absolutely vague in Christianity. I don't take too kindly to manipulative, domineering, controlling institutions and places. Absolutely, and this is very much what this cult is like. It very much is a cult. It satisfies all the. That's that poor lady again. Like she's barely able, even with the walking stick, she's limping badly. Like I don't think she should. Definitely not doing her any good being inside in this cult. Like her touch and nervous isn't going to help her walk any better. But that is where I think a fantastic book to read is this one. Is Stephen Hassan's Combating Cult Mind Control. He's a fantastic he's a fantastic way of describing and putting it. That it's not just a cult in itself that is dangerous. It's the manipulative mind control ones, like Scientology. When you don't have freedom to believe in what you want. Well, like Scientologists are encouraged to they're discouraged to read anything that isn't written by. I don't know if you can see his portrait there behind reception. That guy there, Lafayette Ronald Hubbard. This is why I love the word high vis. You can see me reflected there in the upper window. But unless it's been written by Lafayette Ronald Hubbard, he's the only source of the truth in Scientology. He's the only one that knows about the creation of the entire universe in general. Any books written by anyone else, we're all under that poor lady. So I'm distracted by watching this lady. She's definitely not walking too good on her. Like she's limping badly. She's not able for much walking. I really don't like seeing her up and about around here. But she's smoking there as well. I don't know, is that a vape? Is that a vape? I think it's a cigarette though, rather than a vape she's smoking there as well. Like, how is she getting home? She's not too steady on her feet at all. This fucking vitamin, definitely that poor lady. Yeah, we're in Dublin, Ireland here. Unfortunately, and it's largely suspected that the reason why they opened an org here is because of Tom Cruise he has links to Ireland. His great grandfather, or is it too great? It's either his great grandfather or his great grandfather was Irish. Yeah, I can understand that pagan Christianity. Many people, even in Ireland, don't realise that the cult of Scientology is operating here in Dublin. And even where they are based, this area here is largely a residential area. There's not much in the way of football. Do you know what I mean? So normally where you think that they'd be set up where they'd have nice football, where they'd be in a city centre or town centre here, it's largely a residential area. It does seem like a strange place for the cult to open up shop. But then when you consider, oh, there's one of me signs, hang on, just going to pick up the sign that's fallen over. Like when was it? It was, was it 2017 they bought the place here? Yeah, it was 2017 that they opened up here. They bought this place, I think they bought it in 2016. They paid 6 million for this premises. And it's like, what was it? It's 750 square foot. I'm not sure how many acres the campus itself is. But when you consider what was here before was an evangelist, it was an evangelist cult operated by a crowd from the Philippines. What did they call it? They called it something like the Freedom Victory Center or some sort of weird name like that they had on it. But they went into receivership. This place was sold at a knockdown price. The cult got it for 6 million in 2016, and yet in 2006 it was worth 18 million. So that is a hefty that's a hefty discount, lads. So that's a right bargain that they got for the place. And because there was a religion here before, this land here was already zoned for religious use, which is how the cult was able to open up so easily here. And then our government sort of foolishly kind of they did a deal with Scientology here with them. You'll see there the way they use the wording of community centre, which by having it as a community centre, they do have it technically is open to the public. But there's not much cult awareness that goes on in general here. And there definitely isn't there isn't much cult awareness going on in the local schools either, which is a bitter disappointment because there should be cult awareness going on. In fact, I'd love them to do some sort of a child-friendly version of the bike model, which Steve Hassan has developed. Even for people to understand that the dangers of cults in general, of these cohesive control groups, and the way some relationships can be abusive. Just understanding about that in general. That would give people proper information to make up their own minds. Jesus. Yeah, I'm just counting my posters, making sure I haven't lost one. So that's why on this one I have done up, that's Steve Hassan's bike model there, where I've just gone into a little description of what each of the four things in the bike model are, and then just some examples. So like you could easily do some sort of variant of that in schools, because once you understand a bit about Steve Hassan's bike model, you start to see the similarities between abusive relationships and the way dangerous cults operate. That you could say there's nothing wrong with a cult in general, and that you could say the Swifties is part of Taylor Swift cult. Oops, I just pick up my sign. Just want to keep an eye on these. I see the small child is on his way back with his parents, so I'm just going to keep a close eye on these signs to make sure none of them fall over. Let me speak that one has. I'm going to keep a close eye on these signs here, just to make sure they don't fall over until the child is safely gone by. Yeah, Copenhagen is their European headquarters. Yeah, they're quite. I don't know how many branches they have in the UK. They have quite a few. They have one in Scotland, would you believe, in Edinburgh. They have one there on I can't remember what the street is, but it's very close. It's about 5 minutes walk from the train station. So that just shows how central it is. Okay, cool. That's why I was keeping an eye on my signs for just the child there and his bike going by. Just wanted to make sure my sign didn't blow over. Oh, exactly, Vegan, taking advantage of the vulnerable and the needy. Exactly. We all have some point in our lives where we are vulnerable, and you're susceptible to the love bombing that this cult will do. Like any of the body routers that have gone out handing out their leaflets, and they'll come in for what? Come in for a free film on Dianetics. Come in for a free personality test. They're all charismatic young people who are rather pleasant on the eye, shall we say. That's no coincidence. I might think about packing up soon because my battery, I don't have much battery life left, which makes sense because I've been out here 172, so 10 minutes shy of 3 hours. I think 3 hours is about as long as my battery lasts. Absolutely, they take it. We all have moments in our lives where we are feeling a bit vulnerable. If you think, in particular, when you're in your late teens, early 20s, when you move away from home for the first time, say you're starting your first proper job, you're paying your own rent, you're in college and whatnot. Maybe you're having trouble making friends. Maybe your first girlfriend or boyfriend has dumped you. Maybe even you've lost a sibling. You've lost your mum and dad. Or maybe even you've lost your son or daughter yourself. So we all have moments where we are vulnerable and where we are susceptible to that charismatic smile and the fake lung bobbing that these guys will give. Absolutely antics. They're trying to expand in Europe. They're trying to expand all over the world. I think the only I think they're banned in Russia, aren't they? Or am I wrong there? I don't know. Do they have any? Is there any Scientology in China? I don't think there is. But most of the countries around the world, there is some form of Scientology there. Thanks very much, Reagan. We do try. There's an Indian couple there. I won't catch the license plate. Antics is saying, actually, I might just face my camera this way. Antics is saying, but also for many years, Hubbard was stationed in England. He was in each scrimmage, wasn't he? Donna is saying, I wish T was here because I can't remember. Is that the UK? Or is the bloody. Yeah, it's Australia that does. The UK have the money routed through some sort of convoluted way to Australia because they are tax exempt over in Australia. So I think they use Corsweki for that, which is a charity organisation in Australia, but the UK use that some way to funnel their money. Oh, that's a good idea, Don, to tell Reagan to look up Saint Hill Manor. It's a huge acreage in the area of East Grinstead, where Hobart set up a huge base and they have a yearly fundraiser there for the IAS, the International Association of Scientologists. I nearly read that as International Assassin or Scientology. Yep, it's the Steve. Yeah, that's the one. Steve Hassan's Cult Control. My group. Steve Hassan's Combating Cult Control book. It's absolutely a fantastic book. And that one, this one I have is the 30th anniversary edition, revised and updated. Oh, yeah, there he is there. He does have a YouTube channel, which he seems to do new releases every week on it. I know he does a lot of videos, but he also does lives. And I do find his content very good. And the way you start to see with the people he interview on it, you start to see a lot of similarities between the different cults and the nature of the abuses. And how a lot of it is fundamentally based on money. But then there's also a strong other elements of abuse in there as well. Which is the unfortunate thing. When are they public members? It is an unfortunate thing that there's nothing particularly unique about Scientology cult-wise or its abuses. There's a lot of cults operating, but I do think Scientology is probably one of the most abusive. There's another gentleman having trouble walking. Like overdosing on niacin isn't going to help you too much there, lad. So we are seeing a few. We're definitely seeing more immigrants getting tangled up here by the cult than, say, native white Irish people. Which kind of makes sense when English isn't their native language. It's that bit easier to. That's a good idea, Catty. Reagan is saying, look up Apostate Alex on YouTube. He's a lot of great information. And yeah, and T of Ice down other done as well. Has done a lot of coverage on Australia and surrounding areas. He has done up some fantastic. Okay, so they are banned in Russia and banned in China. I was thinking that, but then I was starting to doubt myself. Yeah, they're trying to grow in Africa and Asia because they're taking advantage of countries where English isn't the first language and countries where people. Oh, my battery is about to die, I think. I think my battery is about to die. Do you know what? I'm on to. Let me dig out me. I think I have me recharge. Let me see. Do me recharging device. The only thing is I can't put on the gimbal to charge it. Just bear with me, lads. Oops. Sorry about that. Yeah. Now this is going to be a bit shaky because my hand does shake a bit. But I'm just going to put a little bit of charge into my phone. I don't want it to die in the middle of the don't want my battery to go in the middle of the live. I don't want you guys to be worried about me if the live suddenly stopped running. They're certainly doing some talking there. I wonder are they popping in for a free tour. That's good to see a car there. Just slow down to have a read of the signs. The NSF shows me that my signs are working. Banned in Russia, banned in China. They are growing in Africa and Asia. 8 countries where English isn't their first language. And they definitely are disadvantaged. They're not exactly wealthy. These guys will go in with the vulture ministers and pretend to want to help. Yeah, that definitely looks like those folks that walked in there. They look sort of to me like they're being given a free tour in there. So I'm hoping now with them seeing me out here in my high vis gear, that'll help plant a few seeds. That maybe they'll look a bit further into it. Antics is saying declared dangerous in France and Germany, but not banned. Yeah, and that is it. It's not so easy. Like we don't particularly want countries to be saying, well, this, and this are dangerous cults, we ban them, because that leaves it open to abuse and of too much control on behalf of the government. That's where I think education is the key, is to educate people about cult awareness and things like Steve Hassan's white model, in which case you can make up your own educated mind that once you know how to recognise a cult, that you can see Scientology and say the JWs, the Mormons, for what they are. Do you say an anti-except? I hate that they are growing in Africa and Asia, taking advantage of those in the back country. And there's a car just stopping. Let's see, does he want to talk? How's it going?
Are you giving out about Scientology?
Oh, protesting against Scientology. It's just to raise awareness.
I've seen enough about it on television
Yeah.
to know that it's not a good thing.
Oh no, there's nothing good about it, and that's why I come out. Because I have seen signs of they are aggressively targeting the immigrant population, where English isn't the first language.
Yeah.
So by being maybe out here, I'm hoping to plant a few seeds of doubt that maybe before I go in, I do this pre-pronastic personality test, I do it before, maybe do some independent Googles. Maybe don't believe everything that the coach themselves will be telling you kind of thing. Well, it is, because once you get tangled up in Scientology, you're proactively discouraged to read anything that hasn't been written by the founder, LRH. But he's the only source of the truth.
I think he's been up on different charges, on different heads of that cult. This fella Huxley, is it?
H,
Yeah, that's Huxley.
Yeah.
He's been up on charges, as far as I know, in the States. I'm going back a while. But the fella that's in charge of it now, I've watched a program by that great documentary maker. He's English.
Yeah.
And like he was followed around by them in the States.
Oh, that was Sweeney.
Louis Thorough.
Oh, Louis Thorough, yeah.
He did a whole program on them.
Oh, he did a fantastic program on
Did
them.
you see it?
I did, yeah.
And he had ex-members of them, and they given out about the brainwashing.
Yeah. But they're very good at wiping the negative press about them. Because despite all the books are written, the documentaries, and the ex-members speaking out, there's still a large number of people who are blissfully unaware that they are a dangerous cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Hiya, thanks very much. Thanks for talking to us. I was just talking to an elderly gentleman there in the car. I don't know how much of that conversation you guys caught, because I did notice that my camera had tilted the wrong way. Right, good. That's what we like to do while we're out. We make time to talk to anyone that is interested. I'm 3 hours out here. I might think about packing up soon. I am getting tired. And the rain, the air radar is getting that bit heavier, but they did promise us rain later. Just take a gulp of water there. Yeah, but that's pretty good though, me battery. That's 3 hours I get out of me phone battery, which is pretty good. What did I do with the oh, there it is. Just make sure I don't lose any of me bits and pieces. Yeah, I think them 3 people we'd seen entering in there, yeah, fuck it, they're doing a course. Or not a course. They've gotten themselves a free tour. They're just inside there watching one of the screens with one of the Scientologists talking to them. Oh, okay, that's good to know, Kathy, because I wasn't sure. Because I know at one point when I looked at my phone, I'd noticed the screen had tilted in the landscape format. Look at, yeah, they're doing a free tour in there, all right. Let me hang around for another bit. Okay, he's leaving them watching the big screen. Wonder can I see anything here? Can't really see what they're watching. But like, isn't that in itself a bit like, would that not raise alarm bells in itself? You're going in to inquire about a so-called church, and yet they talk to you a few minutes, and then they pluck you in front of a television screen to watch. Like, would you not be expecting to go in there and talk to a human, and for the pastor or chaplain, whatever they call themselves, to talk to you and explain what their religion is about and what their beliefs are, and why you should become a Scientologist over say a Roman Catholic or a Protestant or Church of Ireland or an Anglican. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'd imagine I'd be expecting. But then they don't sell themselves, strictly speaking, as religion. They say it's more of a spiritual type of thing, don't they? Hmm.
How you doing?
How's it going?
How are things?
How's it good? Good.
Stop forcing disconnections. Probably. Some of you. No more kids.
Yeah, they're big on the disconnections.
Sorry?
If you're a Scientologist and you decide to leave,
Yeah.
all of your family
You can't
members,
get out.
all of your family members and friends still in are forced to disconnect from you,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've heard that all right.
and that's just one layer of the onion. It's like it's a I think of it like an onion. There's so many layers of an onion that there's different types of abuses going on in Scientology.
I'm aware of
Every
it.
every which way you look at it,
It's going
it's
on
not
for years.
it's not just a money scam. It's so much more.
Oh, yeah. But if you give them your name or address,
Oh, they'll hound you for
I
years,
even 20, 30 years.
and even if you move address,
They
because
can track you
they
down.
have every Thursday too, they have these statistics where you need to be performing better than the week before. Part of some of their statistics will be how many emails did you send out, how many postal letters did you send out to members to try and get them back into courses. So once they have your details at all, 20, 30 years later, and then they'll have another bunch in there that when they're not busy doing other stuff, they'll be proactively looking to see, oh, where this person moved to try and locate you. Because their way of looking at it is you express interest in Scientology at one stage, that maybe you might be more susceptible if they were to give you a special offer, like say, oh, come and do a free course, because you might think, oh, sure, where's the harm? I'm getting something for free. Exactly, yeah.
It's not a free course, and like, but some of the film stars were involved with them as well.
There are Tom Cruises
That's right.
and John Travolta's,
Yeah,
but there's not that
and they've got
many.
millions out of them.
And Nancy Cartwright is the other one. Oh, fuck. Ridiculous amount. Like, if it wasn't for the wealthy donors, like the film stars, and then they have Trish Duggan over in the States. There's a guy in Australia as well, wealthy billionaire businessman, that have given them millions. Without the donations from them guys, Scientology would have faded away years ago because
Oh, yeah.
they're definitely not making enough money out of their members.
They're not making money here.
They're definitely
It's all
there's
coming
no
from America. A lot of it's coming
has
from
to because
America.
there's no way they're operating at a profit here. Plus, I don't think they want to operate at a profit because you think about they operate at a profit, they have to pay Irish taxes. So it's in their interest to declare loss here. And then if you think about it, it's very easy that they could do it. When the Scientology is based on the writings of their founder LRH in his book Dianetics. Dianetics is trademarked to the church in the States. So then you can say all the courses they do is based on the writings in Dianetics. So you can see there where you have to pay to do these courses here. So there's so many ways I can see how there's no way they're paying any taxes here.
Can I take photographs of this?
Oh, you can work away, yeah.
Can I?
Oh, of
Where are
course
you
you can.
from?
I'm from Wexford originally.
You're from where?
Wexford originally.
Yeah, yeah.
But I live on the other side of Dublin,
North Dublin.
North Dublin, yeah. So it's a bit of a trek to get out here, but I think it's worth my while just even because even you can
And
see
how
there.
often do you come here?
I come out once a week because I work full time, and if I could come out more often, I would. But you know, you can only do what you can do. But see the people in there, the street people in there, they're walked in for one of these free tours. They put
They're
them
brought
to,
in for what?
they're in for a free tour.
A free tour.
Free tour, yeah, which is them watching television screens, finding out how great. They'll be finding out how Lafayette, Ronald Tubbard, greatest humanitarian that ever lived. When he was a Boy Scout, allegedly he won all these medals. When he was in the army, they make him out to be a fucking hero that he saved millions. Even though when he was in the army, he was fucking kamikaze, haphazard. He bombed the fucking island by mistake. All sorts of.
Haven't they got a place in Bellivre?
Well,
Back
either
in
they
England?
do.
A drug place. Drug
It's
treatment
not
centre.
open. They did refurbish it,
Yeah, but the people
but they
stopped
have
them.
one.
The people stopped it.
They stopped it, and they did go through the courts and the
That's
High
right.
Court, and they appealed it. The court has won the latest decision, which was last year, but there's still no sign of them opening. I
No.
don't think. I think if they have any common sense, which we know they don't, I can't see them opening it.
Well,
Because
I
you
know
don't
for the
have.
fact they
There
tried
is
so
no.
hard to get that opened, and when they were investigated, what would it be given to the drug addicts to get them off? They said something, a load of vitamins or something
Oh no,
like that.
basically what you do is it's 5 to 6 hours in the sun every day. That
Sweat
goes
them out,
on. That
that's
goes
right.
on for weeks, and it's mega dosing of vitamins. The niacin they put them on is thousands of times above the recommended limit. They're basically overdosing for niacin, and that gives them a reddy orange glow to the skin because it's all the niacin being sweated out. And that's what they tell them. Oh, that's all the impurities. That's all the residue of the drugs and radiation leaving your bodies. And then if you happen, because you're in 5 to 6 hours a day in the sauna, if you happen to be passing out because you're not getting enough water even to hydrate, they'll say, oh, that's a good thing. That's a sign that it's working. It's a wonder they don't have bodies left, right, and centre.
I'm going to.
And then when you think in some places have been reported have had 10, 12-year-olds supervising these sauna sessions.
When they were opening this stuff 15 years ago, people wanted protests outside.
Yeah.
I was here with people before proper.
Yeah.
And none of the other residents came out. So we were out supporting them.
Yeah.
But they wanted us to do everything. They kept on saying, what are you doing? So we had to reverse it back. What are you doing to stop it?
And this is why I'm out here, because I'm not saying, oh, why isn't anyone doing anything there? I'm out here doing something. I think there is a need to it, and I'd prefer I'd prefer not to be out here on my own. But it's
very
like
hard on your own.
I stuff. But at the same time, I believe I'm doing.
Get all this stuff across by bus?
Yeah, by bus. I have an A1 carrier bag that I put on my shoulder to carry all the posters. Yeah, I get 2 buses, so it's not ideal.
And
but
you're from where? North Dublin?
North Dublin, yeah.
What part?
I won't say because
Okay.
I'm live streaming and I don't want to
Oh,
give.
sorry. Yeah.
And I do this purely for my own protection to show at all times I'm on this side. And at no time in a fit of madness did I scale over the fence and start doing damage. because these guys will ring the guards and they make all sorts of stories. It was only me second time out here, because I always stand here where you can see the sign
Well,
there.
you're entitled to protest.
But you know what they did? They rang the
Peacefully
guards and they
protest.
said there's harassing staff members walking in and out of the cult, and I'm there. I'm nowhere fucking near. The exit is, or the entrance is way over there. That's the only way in and out. And the guards kind of took one look at me and they said, "Oh yeah, fair enough."
Can't do a thing.
Yeah.
Once you're doing it peacefully, you're not blocking
Yeah.
an entrance or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Because I always start the live.
But they
I always
lie
start.
and-
I always start the live stream when I'm a little bit away, and then I leave it running when I'm a little bit away. Then after, just to make sure that I didn't end it, and then all of a sudden burn the place down or something. Just to give them, there's nothing there they can even tug at to try and base their lies on.
Right.
Oh yeah, work away taking the pictures.
Huh?
Oh yeah, work away. Yeah.
Oh, oh.
You a local lad?
Well, I live locally, yeah.
Oh, you live
yeah,
locally,
yeah.
yeah. And you're aware of Scientology being a cult?
I am.
Yeah. I know they don't have many members here, but I have seen signs of them. You can even see them there now. There's 3 African gentlemen in there doing a free tour.
Do a free tour.
Doing a free tour, and that is a starting point to get you.
Yeah, years ago I was in town. This is 30 years ago, I suppose. I was in town and I was waiting on the bus down by Middle Abbey Street.
Yeah.
I think they have a centre there.
They used to have a
that's
bookshop
gone,
there.
isn't
No,
it?
that's gone.
Yeah, but I was waiting on the bus and this guy started talking and he said, "Do you want to do a personality test?" And I had about an hour to kill, so I said, "Yeah, fine, no problem." So I knocked and I did it, and then he said, "Well, we can help you and all that." So I said, "All right." He says, "Yeah, but I think it was like €20 or something, £20 or something, that's
Yeah.
fine." The badger being badger, I said, "I don't have it on me." "You can go to your ATM." And I said, "Oh, here, forget it, like,
Oh, they're good at
That would be
they're good at the hard sell.
They really do, yeah.
And even when someone does get themselves entangled in Scientology, you might start out that the course is 50 quid.
Yeah.
Then it's 100 quid.
Yeah.
But the way they'll do the high reg on them,
The
they'll even
levels.
say, you say, "Oh, I've no money. I'm strapped out. I can't even afford to pay me rent." They'll say, "Oh, do you not have a mum or dad? Do you not have a brother or sister you can borrow from?" Oh, Jesus, they mustn't love you then. They don't want you to see in life if they won't loan you the money to do these courses that's going to improve the quality of your life.
All these
They've all
courses are
sorts.
That's all it is, brainwashing.
But the bottom level ones, people would think they seem like they're doing some good, but they're basically self-help with a bit of bullshit thrown in. Because you know yourself that even what we're doing now, speaking to people, that helps to grow your confidence.
Yeah.
And that's what people would glean from doing one of these courses. They think, falsely, they think it's because they're doing one of the Scientology courses, whereas not realising, well, actually, if I just talk to people, that kind of way is a way of building your self-confidence.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you're young and susceptible, you don't.
Well, that was it. I'm from Killarney originally,
Yeah.
and years ago, I
Really
kind
nice.
of a honey trap
Oh,
by the
new
born
track.
again Christians.
Yeah.
So this lovely American guy was talking, "Can you come to our thing?" And I went because I'm at about it, and then suddenly
Yeah.
I went, "Uh-oh, stay away," like, but yeah, look, I can see
But
the
but
same
but
thing.
but they're good at that. That a lot of their body routers, that they are attractive young men and women of a certain age. You're a certain charisma, and like that because you're guarded down. You just think, oh, this is
Can I ask you, have you put that up on social media?
I'm just on YouTube.
Do you get any hassle from them?
Oh yeah, the second time I was out, they called the guards and they said I was harassing staff members, and I just stand here with my signs. So there's no way I could be harassing them.
Oh no, they lie through their teeth. They're professionals. at
And
that.
then when they had the Irish dancing on, I was out. They got one of the parents to ring the guards and said, oh, they were concerned about filming the children. But all I'm doing is I'm just standing here with my camera. That I'm out in
And make sure
public.
you don't film the children.
But even at that, you're there. Well, what are you seeing? You can only you're not. It's not like I'm peeking into the bushes
I know,
and
but
have a massive zoom and I'm
You're right.
peeking
This
into
is
with children's changing
this is
rooms.
the way that they can catch you. If you get children in on the video,
Yeah.
right, they can get you on that.
not strictly speaking, because just filming in public, if they're standing around out there, they can see my camera lens.
Even in public.
That is a bubble. Where it is now, the distinction there is where it is if it was say in the park and you're following around someone and filming them. That's where it's different.
Well, when I was walking,
But because of if they're
the
standing
law was
if they're standing out there with the kids, they don't need to stand out there. They can see I'm here with my camera.
Yeah.
That puts the onus on them to just move. Now, if I was to be kind of trailing my camera around, following them, that would be an offence. But if I'm just standing here and my camera's always pointing here, they happen to come out, they can see my camera's here. So the onus is on them. The onus is on them to move themselves outside the view of my camera. So there are a few nuances there. By the
how
time
could someone make contact with you?
I have an email and I am on YouTube. If you look up my
Have you a
YouTube channel,
WhatsApp?
if you look, probably the easiest way is that's my YouTube channel there. If you look up the channel description, you'll see I have an email address. Yeah, yeah. I have an email address in the channel description. Send me an email is the handiest way.
Can I ask you, how did you get
It's
into this?
I always thought that's a good question. I always thought for years, I just thought, oh, it's just that's just that hungry cult out there for all the wealthy Egypt, like Tom Cruise and Leah Remini have the money. And then even I'd say about 5 years ago, I came across on YouTube an interview a Mexican dude gave with someone, and he was saying how he was hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt through doing courses in Scientology. And I thought, that's the greatest load of bullshit I've ever heard. There's no way a normal person who doesn't have the money will be double, triple mortgaging in the house, ending up bankrupt doing these Mickey Mouse courses. And then it was 3 years ago, I started finding these. Do you know what it was? It was, do you know The Ranch on Netflix that Danny Masterson was acting in? When it came out about him drugging and ordering all these women over all the years, had me curious, how has he been getting away with that 30 years and no one's spoken out until now? So that had me looking into it and find out, oh, he's a Scientologist, oh. And then I started stumbling across all these ex-Scientologists with channels on YouTube speaking out about the times.
Then you have your man down. Is it John Maloney, an English newscaster, an English reporter? He did a lot of
He
investigations.
did, yeah, he
into
did
this,
do a
yeah.
lot of investigations. But all the investigations done over the years, like they're very good at scrubbing the press.
Very
At
good at what?
they're very good at scrubbing the press, whitewashing and creating.
Oh, they are, yeah.
And saying like,
They're professionals at
oh
it.
yeah, and saying that, oh yeah, that Leah Remini, oh she just is disgruntled because she paid all these millions and she hasn't reached the top tier like Tom Cruise. So they've all sorts of I do need to work out some system of adding some weight to me signs to stabilising them a bit, because when they get a gust of wind, they're away. It's normally, it's either a Saturday or a Sunday. It's normally, yeah, it's bank holiday Monday. It's normally a Saturday or Sunday, whichever day I can manage to get out here. I would have been out here yesterday, but I woke up with a migraine, so I thought, rather than being out here with a migraine, I said today's a bank holiday, I'll come out today instead. I know worries about it. Fuck.
Listen, mind yourself.
Oh yeah, thanks for talking to us.
Bye-bye. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that up on social media,
Yeah.
see what reaction.
I go good on you.
And I'm going to put it on the likes of people before prophets.
Oh, good
page,
idea. Yeah.
Paul Murphy.
Yeah.
And see what happens from there.
Yeah.
You're a lone protester here, and you try and get here once a week.
Yeah.
The days can vary.
And you can tell
because of work reasons.
I'm not unnatural like this. I'm very much
No,
fumbling in the
because I'll
dark.
give you a bit of history on ourselves. When they purchased that was originally a school.
Yeah.
Right. And when they purchased that, there was huge protests from ourselves here.
Yeah.
And we tried to get the people in the vicinity. They were shouting, we're against this, that, and the other. But when the time came for protesting, they weren't coming out.
See, and that is where
Except maybe 2, 3, 4 people.
But see, and that is where I can sort of understand when you're living in the area, because these guys have a history of harassment. That they'll follow you, they'll work out where you live, they'll write to your employer, and they'll make up all sorts of stories about you.
Well, if they came near my house, that would be a good argument to take them to the High Court, and I'd win it.
Like you can take them to court, but you're not getting Scientology itself.
I get,
It's a
I'd get them the cost for it.
it's a Scientologist itself that's a fall guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's where I feel sorry for them, because that is someone that's coerced into doing the harassment.
Yeah.
That they effectively rock in a hard place. They don't have a choice, in effect. So I do have a certain amount of empathy for them that way. Now it doesn't excuse what they're doing wrong, but when you believe in, you're brainwashed to believe in what you're doing, that you're effectively trying to save all of mankind.
Oh yeah.
And then someone speaking out is trying to prevent that.
From a 10th floor hotel window in Manhattan. Brief period.
And they're just a couple of the stories out there. But it just shows that something is fundamentally wrong with Scientology.
Oh, the article
Because they don't believe in drugs. Now you might think, because you have the drug-free world, and you might think, okay, you might think that sounds good, but they're not talking about illegal drugs. They're talking about headache tablets. They're talking about cancer medicine. They're talking about seizure medicine. There's a lady called Tori Magoo who's been speaking out about Scientology for something like 27 years. She was in Scientology, but she suffers from seizures. They had convinced her to go off her seizure meds. She kept having seizures. She got to the point where she told them, "Oh, I'm going out on a date with a boyfriend." Her mum rang her the next day. Tori had absolutely no memory
Can I
of.
just ask you, did any of them come out and take photographs of that?
They've never come out and taken photographs from here, but as soon as I started turning up, they were there taking photographs of me.
Oh yeah, but did take photographs of that?
No, never. They've never come
And
anywhere
as
near.
many people,
Apart from one or two coming up to the railings there to try and harass me.
no,
But that
what
doesn't
you
work
want
with
to
me.
do is record them.
Oh, I do, and that is where, because I'm always live here on YouTube. And it's mainly, I have a small channel of something like 309 followers, but it's not the number that matters. It's more that I have footage showing exactly what I'm doing, exactly what I'm saying. I'm harassing nobody.
And can I ask, is this the first day you've been here?
No, I've been coming out intermittently since last year.
Since last June?
Since around this time last year.
God's the
But
first
I
time I've
haven't
seen
been
you.
I haven't been out regularly because my mum got very sick last June, and she since died of a aggressive form of terminal cancer. So that's why it's been, as you can imagine. But I'm trying to now come out more consistently. I do want to come out every weekend. My aim is to try and be out every 3 or 4 weekends. That maybe I'd be out 7 weeks in a row and then off for 2, because you still have family commitments and things like that. And sometimes you
Record
need a
everything
break.
that happens. If they come out, they walk down here
Oh,
towards
absolutely.
you, record them.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's the only way, because as you said, and they're known for it, they're professional
But they're
liars.
good at getting close, and maybe they come up, and then next thing you know, they're throwing themselves on the ground. You're there, what the fuck? And that is their way of trying to say, oh, you must have pushed them.
Yeah.
Because if you see someone sprawled on the ground, you think, what the fuck, that lady knocked her over.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they know all them sorts of devious tactics. And I'm just hoping, me being here and I have the high vis, that will help to plant some seeds
And
of
have you
doubt.
all this up on YouTube?
I have at the moment, I'm still working it out because I'm not a naturalist.
Oh, you haven't
At the moment, I have my lives there. That as soon as this live ends, it's public on YouTube now. But I do want to do more. I do want to start doing some videos on Scientology here and try and create greater awareness.
They don't know enough about it.
They know it's a cult, but they don't know why it's dangerous.
Correct.
And they don't know why. Where's the harm? Because you could say, where's the harm in coming in for a free personality test or doing a free course, not realizing that's how the
Yeah, but what they actually they do have hundreds going in there at certain times.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I remember last Christmas it was packed right outside here.
Well, what they
You
do
couldn't believe.
is they've gotten themselves ingrained into some of the local gymnastic groups and the Irish dancing that they rent out. They have an auditorium that seats 1,200 thereabouts. It's top of the range. It has a grand piano, top of the range acoustic. So they rent that space out with something like 1 or 2 grand they rent a space for, which is nothing considering the size of it. And that's to entice in the kiddies.
Well, that place is in debt to America.
Absolutely it is.
It's all coming from America, and I'd say they only have so much time here at a loss. I'd say even the people that do the garden there for them, they're probably not even paid.
No, they'll all be volunteers working.
And the other
And
thing
because
was,
as far as I know, there's no protection in place for volunteers. You can be working 60, 80, 100 hours a week. There's no protection there. You don't get holiday pay. You don't
You
get
get
wages. You
nothing.
get sick pay. You have nothing.
but they had a lot of immigrants coming in here cleaning up the place.
Oh, there's even when they have the
and what
the
actually
Irish dancing
happened was
events. Yeah.
they told certain people that they would help them
Oh,
to
the
get,
immigration status.
yeah, they
Oh,
would
fuck.
help them
Yeah.
with it. And when it was investigated, no, there was never any representation made from the Church of Scientology, nor would it be entertained from them. You don't see those people around there. They were going out there to City West and getting them in. Poor unfortunate people that was fleeing persecution.
Oh, yeah, that is it. And
Clean
but
up that place.
and that is where I don't know. Is it that because it would have been one of their own that would have said, "Oh, come on in." So I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know. Was he himself a Scientologist?
could have been.
Do you know what I mean? Because that's very easily how they do it. Because obviously you're going to trust someone of your own when you're in a foreign land, and that is the dangers of the immigrants getting. I've seen evidence over the past year being out
Well,
here.
it didn't
They
work.
are targeting the Africans. They're targeting the Indians. Anyone where English isn't their native language. They're targeting Ukrainians and the Russians. Once one of them gets in, they're putting on the aggressive tactics that you have to rope in your family and friends, your work
Yeah.
colleagues.
Yeah.
So hopefully with me in my hide viz out here, I'm helping to plant some seeds that they'll go off at the very least, do some independent research. Because maybe even, why would I be out here protesting Scientology? So maybe look into that a little bit. Maybe there's something a bit more to these friendly people.
And who did up all this for you?
Oh, I did these myself progressively over the last few
And
months.
is it done legally or what?
Oh no, it's all legal because there's nothing on these signs that isn't true. And
And can you prove it?
their stories are widely out there on if you look in Wikipedia, their stories are widely there, so it's all accepted as the truth. Now it came to a court of law and someone was trying to sue them. That's where you get into
That's what I was just thinking.
more legalities, but if there is anything guys doing breaking the law here, because these guys do watch all these live streams.
They what?
They watch they have an inner military group called OSA,
Oh yeah,
which
good one.
watches all the live streams. If there's anything on my signs that legally was a no-no here, they would have me reported. But because what I have here is widely
Did the guards
available.
take any photographs of it?
No, they looked at my signs and they just looked and said, "Yeah, you're doing nothing wrong." They just said, "Just so that you're aware, it is private property in there." And I said, "Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, I understand that."
No, once you go past that railing, that's
Once
when
you,
you're
yeah.
not here.
Do you know, like obviously the wall here will be public property, but is the railings part of their property? Do you
the
know?
railings would.
The railings definitely
yeah.
is. I was
Yeah.
thinking that because the
Because,
way the railings are all the way
Yeah, it
around.
goes right around.
Yeah,
The reason why I remember seeing the political posters up on the
yeah,
railings and they come out and took them down.
yeah. Because I had a feeling myself. I was wondering. I was feeling a
I've
bit.
never
Yeah,
checked it with the council or anything like
yeah.
that. But all what you've got is that up against the wall. Now, I don't know if it's theirs or not.
Do you know? I think it's public because if you look at the housing estate up there, that wall up there is the same type of
Yeah,
it's the same type of bricks in the walls.
yeah.
So that fits in with the area. And if this was illegal, because some of their members, there's a prominent guy inside in there has passed by on his bicycle a few times. If that wall was cult property, they would definitely have rang the guards.
Sorry.
Are you all right?
Church of Scientology.
Yeah, no, so yeah. I'm like for or against it. Yeah,
Oh no, definitely against,
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
against. Oh Jesus, no.
So look, I support it all the way.
I can give you my card there if you want, and that's my
Yeah.
YouTube channel there.
Yeah.
What's the name of your wee doggy?
Lulu.
Alula, she's lovely.
Yeah.
So if I was doing anything illegal, that wall was there, they would have definitely have called the guards on me. So that's why I do think, and because the wall up there is the same type of wall, I think it is public.
This is public property.
Exactly. Thanks very much. And I had a feeling because that railing was all the way around, it made sense to me that would be considered part of their premises. Because I did think it'd be so much easier if I could tie my posters to here.
What?
It would be so much easier if I could tie my posters up to here.
Oh, it would, yeah.
And it would make them more visible.
I know for a fact,
Yeah.
Politicians during election
Yeah.
time have posters up.
Yeah.
And they came up one day and they were all again.
Oh, so
They never
even
gave them back on anything. They just swept them away.
oh, so even that is good to know. So even the politicians themselves can't put posters, can't put anything on them.
Well, that's
Okay,
what
that
I'm
is good. So
saying.
that would be an indication then that the railings then are definitely a no-no then.
Yeah.
That there's no
That's
wiggle
what I
room
say.
there.
The railings, the lights of the
Yeah.
wall there, ideal.
Yeah.
Ideal.
Because that's public property. I'm not breaking any laws.
Yeah.
They've done it in the States of where particularly their test centre in LA. It's on one of the main Walk of Fame. You can see the stars all the way along. But there's people that do come out protesting. They put their poster, if they leave it leaning against, if they leave the poster leaning against the cult premises, they call the police on them.
Where's this?
It's in LA, so they have to
Wouldn't
leave
surprise me.
leave the posters on the ground, just in front of the wall. They can't even have them propped up against the wall. That's how petty they are.
The best time to get here with those, you put them out when they have a meeting going on there.
Yeah.
Where there's thousands. Now, I'd say there's times there that car park is full and there's people outside and all and packed up inside.
And that's where I try,
And
and I
The
do.
house estate
Yeah.
up the road there, the next turn into to the right, they have somebody gets out there. This is for residents.
Yeah.
This is not a parking for the Church of Scientology.
And
And
why
they
is there
don't do
nothing that can be done? Because it has to be.
Hey.
That has to be. Well, maybe it's not breaking any laws though.
Why? Who's not breaking any laws?
Maybe it's not breaking any laws by parking wherever they want.
Officially, legally, they could go in there and park, and there's not a thing the rest.
Yeah, because that's what I was
Once the
wondering. Yeah.
car is taxed,
Yeah.
insured, and roadworthy with an NCT on it.
Yeah.
You know, once they've got that, they can park anywhere.
Because it's not
they're not blocking an entrance.
because it's not private property, it's public. Yeah. That's what I was wondering. All right.
But it was just to try and stop them from going in.
But you think the cult themselves would want to keep in well with the neighbourhood just to keep contentions.
That's why they didn't force it.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't force it. But no.
Yeah, I tried to keep an eye out on the various websites to see when they have an event out, and I tried to make an effort to come out. But when you're working Monday to Friday,
It's hard.
and it's a 5-hour round, it's a 5-hour round trip. I have to get out here, and there's going to be certain times where you have family commitments, and then there's even sometimes where you're just too exhausted. Do you know what I mean?
Where did you get the T-shirt? Stop the abuse.
Oh, that's the one I markered on myself.
Did you?
Oh, it's a $2.99 T-shirt from Lidl. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to spend money because like these are I got them for a craft shop.
The what?
I got the high-vis paper from a craft shop that the paper itself isn't much. Then the cost of the ink. It doesn't cost that much really.
Anyway, look, leave it with
Yeah.
me. I've got your card.
Oh yeah, thanks very much.
And I'll send it to certain people
Yeah.
and see what they've got to say. I'll just wait and see what's actually.
Well, anyway, of helping to I'm going to pack up in a minute. Anyway, of helping to spread awareness out there, because
Oh,
the
yeah.
immigrants just don't, and you can understand that. I spoke to, there was one Chinese guy came along last year, and he was very puzzled by. Okay, it's not a church, but then my church community centre that had him baffled as to why are they allowed then to use those words.
They call it church tax reasons.
Oh, I know they do,
They're
but
registered,
yeah,
they're registered as a church because any money they take in, they don't pay tax on it.
well, they're not tax exempt here. I know they're set
But
themselves
they
up.
are tax exempt here.
No, they're set up as a not-for-profit.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
So
not-for-profit.
do they pay tax here?
This is, I think legally they do pay taxes, but this is where I think you could very easily work it that you're not making any profit to pay tax on, because you can say the courses run here are based on Dynetics. Dynetics is trademarked to one of their organisations in the States, so you have to pay a what you call it, a usage fee or a what's the word I'm looking for?
Oh, sorry.
You have to pay a royalty fee or some sort of fee to use the materials or Dynetics of the courses. So you could very easily see you just need to price up that enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plus, I can't see how they are making any profit here, because they are renting out the space so cheaply to the Irish
But
dance and
this
the
is the main one
gymnastics.
in Ireland, you know that?
Or it's
The
the
headquarters.
this is they have a what's more like a corporate office in Dublin City in Merrion Square.
Yeah, but this is the main.
Oh yeah, but
The
apart,
main
yeah,
one.
they have this one, they have that one in Merrion Square. They have the empty building in Beliver, and I think that's all they have. Now that's to say they could well have bought up more premises because they are big on property, but because they use you know the way you buy things using a different company name.
Yeah.
What do they call them? Subsidiaries and whatnot.
They actually they could have a half a dozen company names, and then they could outside of Ireland they could have about 50 names.
Oh, easily,
and
yeah.
it's a web that goes in around, and you'd never trace them.
Because I know anyone that has tried looking into their finances anywhere,
Can't get
gotten
anywhere.
tangled up and fucking. You'd probably need 100 forensic scientists,
Yeah.
experts to be
To go through it.
exactly, yeah.
Look at.
Oh yeah, yeah. Thanks very much. Yeah, yeah. Thanks very much for talking to us. Okay, I'm going to pack it up there, lads. Oh Jesus. Let me just pluck you guys down and see. Let me just put this on back on the gimbal. Sorry, chat. I've been ignoring you there. Oh, fuck. Let me see. Can I get this right? Now. It's going to very quickly. Lovely posters. Kind of out here a bit longer than I was anticipating. But I think it was well worth talking to that man there and the other fella that popped along. Whoa. Oh, we are 6 o'clock. Dang it. The Board of Public Works is going to be on. Now, where is my bag? To very quickly pack it up there and make my journey home. Meeting that man there now was well worth me coming out here today. So I'm glad now I didn't decide not to pop out here and to go to the beach instead. Do you know what I mean? So I think sometimes fate has you doing the right thing. Roger signs. Thank you, Roger. Whoops. Now, can I do up the zip on the strap? Now, I'll be there with the zip. I always struggle on the last bit of this bag with the zip. Nicely zipped. My books. Empty bottle of water. Young Roger. So yeah, drink of water there. Oh, me bag. Now. Oh, there we go. Oops. So daisy. What has gone wrong? Oh, sorry about that, lads. Oh, hang on. Not in the right position now. Ah, there we go. God damn it. Stop, gimbal. Hang on, I switched the stuff off. Now. That's better. There we are. I just want to thank everyone for sticking with me today. It was a bit of a long one, but it was well worth having that conversation with the chap. And I just want to just show I'm leaving nothing behind. There's no rubbish or nothing there left behind. Leaving the place exactly as I found it. Jeez, I'm hungry. I'm hungry for my supper now, alright lads, I tell you that much. Absolutely, Donna, I did. I would love for someone to join me to have more people out, because we are seeing signs that people are wandering in. Now, I know obviously it's not great numbers we're seeing, but one or two people walking into that cult and joining, that to me is too many. A little bit windy there. When is the Board of Public Works going to start? Soon. Oh, the meeting's on. I'll catch up on. I think I'll catch up on chat later. I'll do more walking than trying to catch up. Oh my goodness. It's under the sky is a little bit overcast. I think we might get a little bit of light rain, but that no matter. I have a light rain jacket with me in case it does. I just want to thank you all for joining me today, lads. Your support means a lot to me, because having you guys here chatting away most definitely does help. Because it does, in a way, it feels like even though I'm there alone, I'm not alone, because you guys are there chatting away with me, which is definitely a massive help. Hey Susan, how are you? We're just finished a protest outside the Dublin org of the cult of Scientology. And I was good chatting to that man there that he did confirm that the ratings that we do see up around the cult, that they are part of cult property, but the wall itself is public. Ah, thanks very much. Thanks very much, lads. Oh, there's some lovely doggies in the park there. Lovely puppers. There's me. And all me gear. All my busy gear. Way down like a mule horse. Definitely think I might upgrade my bag though. I am thinking of upgrading this because it does, see the way there, it does tend to cut into my neck a bit. No matter how I try to adjust it, it does end up cutting into my neck just a little bit. So I do want to look into getting a better class of an A1 bag I can put my posters in. But this one will do for now. Just no one behind me, I like that. I like it when front and behind is clear before I end the live. Just a little of extra of a precaution. Just to make sure. Now I don't think they don't have the numbers for one. But there's no harm just a little bit of added security to keep yourself safe. Because you just never know. Yeah, I could do with making some padding for the strap, alright, I could do that. But also the zip on the bag is a bit flaky. It's a bit, whoever measured out the material for the bag, it didn't do a great job. Because it is just about it does just about take all my signs. But there's parts of the zip where it's very hard to close. So I'm not sure how much life is left in it. But it was only €15 this bag. I got the cheapest one I could find because I didn't know if these bigger signs were going to be manageable or not. So I'm definitely going to have a look and see. Like I'd be prepared to pay 40 or 50 quid for a decent fish bag. That'd be easier to transport these signs. Look for a thing for a car seat. Oh yeah, I could put. I wonder have I got something I could repurpose. I'll have to look through my closets and see what I have. I have some old bags I don't use anymore, so I might have something I could put on a padding on it. Or you have a Velcro that you could put around the strap. Because it does. Because see the way it keeps ending up. I tried to hook it over here, but it always ends its way back up here, just cutting into my neck a bit. Which is not could always knit one. It just makes it that bit of discomfort. So there's no one behind. No one in front. So I want to say I'm going to end the live now and thank you all for joining me. And sure, hopefully we'll see each other. Well, we will see each other around these here YouTubes.